This version of It's Erik Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
This episode of It's Erik Nagel brought to you by 22 Sierra Coffee. Listeners of It's Erik Nagel can get 15% off their order by using promo code ERIK, that's E-R-I-K, at checkout, 22sierracoffee.com. Use the promo code ERIK for 15% off.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
It's Erik Nagel. It starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Erik Nagel.
Thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Erik Nagel. Joining me each and every week from the frozen tundra known as Arizona. Say hello to Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us on Apple, Spotify, places of that nature at your convenience, do us a kindness, go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. And if you want to join us live each and every week as we do said program, people are coming into the rooms right now. You can be one of those people by going over to our YouTube channel or our Twitch channel at It's Erik Nagel. Hit like, subscribe, notifications, that whole stuff. It's a couple clicks. It's all free. Let you know when we're on and doing the program, and you can come and join and see this train wreck on whatever in front of you. Develop, combust, I don't know. Whole bunch of things here.
Take two.
I thought I had another issue here. I saw a light for something that shouldn't be on, and that's not the case. It was something else. Right as we were about to start the show, everything just went pop, and it all just turned off. Like, I could see things, couldn't hear things. Jordan could hear me, then couldn't hear. Like, it was a whole to-do, but it's all fixed now. Anyway, we gave out all the stuff. We'll put the banner things on. There we go. We're good to go. We have some guests joining us tonight. A little later in the program, a longtime friend of the show, Gaby, from down old Mexico way, will be joining us to talk about Showtime Pizza. Remember a while ago we talked about that?
Yeah, we were talking. It was like the precursor to like Chuck E. Cheese. Like it was like
I wasn't aware of Showtime in this area of the country, and turns out there was a couple, but they were like in New Jersey or Pennsylvania or something. And growing up on Long Island, we had Chuck E. Cheese. We talked about that a little bit, and then we did that whole thing. And then she wrote to us and said, "I had a birthday party at Showtime Pizza. I have home movies." So she sent them over.
Actual footage.
Yes.
Like, it's crazy.
We're gonna check it out, and I got to tell you, I don't know what our parents were thinking in the 80s because it looks terrifying. So, we'll get into that a little bit later.
Fun to see.
Right. But joining us now, because we've got a lot to talk about. We got Super Bowl ads that we're going to go through here. We got to do a quick update on this week in disasters because so much has happened since we ended the show last week. The disasters never stop. Joining us finally, after all this time,
she's never asked.
That is true. She probably would have been on a lot earlier if she actually said something, but hello to Lubi.
Hi, and I have begged you multiple times on my knees.
No, you have not. That is such a lie. Lubi and I used to work together for a long, long time at another place. Her information's up there on the screen, but for those on the radio, give her a follow on Instagram and her YouTube channel where she does a podcast. What's your podcast called?
Oh my God. I don't have a name. I guess I have a branding issue at this point, guys, because I started a podcast for my own community, my own language, and it kind of segued into having a guest in English once in a blue moon, and then all of a sudden, majority of my guests are in English, so I have to translate the whole thing. So that's fun. That's something that I'm working on right now.
And her native language is Swahili. So
correct.
If you're familiar with that, this is the podcast for you, the unnamed podcast that Lubi hosts. Go to Lubi, Lubi Popovic, Popovicnyc. That is good for her YouTube and her
it's a combination
Instagram.
of Swahili and like sign language. So it's pretty intense in your face. Lately I've been posting a lot of videos regarding pop culture just because, Erik, you know me. I live for the good tea. I live for Real Housewives. I live for reality shows.
You live for garbage television.
Yes, because I don't have a life, and that's okay. That's okay.
She's single and ready to mingle in the streets of New York City. So what does she do?
Sure.
She's constantly watching Bravo garbage and then
That's
posting furiously with her thoughts about what cunts a lot of these women are and posting it up on her social media. So if you want to get the scoop and know what's going on for a show that you didn't know existed, follow Lubi on Instagram and she'll fill you in with all that stuff. She's from Montenegro, one of those Eastern Bloc countries that didn't exist till I think like the late 90s, right?
Early 2000s.
Early
actually.
2000s?
We were part of Yugoslavia before, but in 2005 we officially separated because who needs money and support that other, republics used to provide us with. Now we are tiny and broke, but boy, we're pretty. We are right on the Adriatic coast, so it's gorgeous to go over there, but we're poor. So I don't know. It's fun. Go visit.
Yeah.
Yay. It's safe. It's safe. That's all. Yeah.
It's so weird when, learning about her and her culture over the years. When you think about a country, you just think like, well, the United States has only been around, almost to 250, almost three, somewhere in there.
I think we're hitting, 1776. I mean, we're coming up on our
300th.
300
in a few
Time to
decades.
collapse, I guess.
So you start looking at that as like, well, that's a newer country. That's kind of new. All these other countries are old as dirt. Like they've been around for centuries. And then you find out, oh no, there's a handful, there's like pockets of this world where there's all new things from the 2000s and the late 90s that existed.
Well, like if you go outside of my town, my hometown, you will find a city that's from the 11th century and it still kind of holds. It's very Game of Thrones-ish. And the Game of Thrones were actually filmed on the coast, not of Montenegro, but of Croatia. But technically it all used to be one country, but we, like I said, separated because we all wanted to be, our own bosses. But that is the vibe of where I'm from, like a lot of old cities. But for technical reasons, for political reasons, yes, we are a brand new country.
Her country development is kind of like where we are with streaming services. Like everything was all housed under Netflix. And then everyone said, I can take our own property. We can do our own thing. We don't need Netflix anymore. And they all branched out and formed their own things. And a lot of them didn't last. A lot of them aren't gone. They've merged with other properties. And then now they're starting to think, maybe we need to go back to Netflix because they seem to be the one doing okay and we're not. Do you think Montenegro will ever join back up and say, yeah, we gave this a go. We're closing up for business and we're going to go merge?
Are you saying they're the Paramount Plus of the Balkans is what you're saying?
It might happen. I think that there's a lot of nostalgia in the whole Balkan area. We're all kind of looking at the golden age, the golden era in the 70s and 80s. And we were like, we don't even remember what we were fighting about. The whole war happened in the early 90s. And now looking back, like the new generations and even newer generations that don't even remember it, they're like, but we were awesome. We had everything.
Yeah, we were awesome here at one point too, but it seems a lot of people forget that we were.
Yeah.
We used to just be all Big Macs and blue jeans, and now TikTok's an issue.
I think I moved here too late, honestly. Like 2007, there was still some glimpse of hope, and then 2008, everything collapsed and kind of never went back to the old glory that I heard about. Like, because people who immigrated in the 90s all bought buildings.
Yeah.
Like, people from Montenegro are building owners. Multiple.
Maybe we need to go over there and start over, because if the economy is collapsing over there, we'll just take what we've got here, go build over there, and it's like getting in on the ground floor of like Amazon or Bitcoin or like a real estate boom. So much oceanfront property, and if you don't like that, go to the other side of the country. A lot of skiing resorts, mountainous areas.
Well, it's weird, like growing up here when, in the 90s, when you were hearing about like Serbia and Kosovo and all that stuff, like, you hear about the war and you never realize, like, now that that's over and things have kind of passed, how beautiful that area is. Like, I've seen things of like,
always like, oh, that was something
Herzegovina.
Clinton was dealing with. I was in high school. I don't remember what that was all about.
Yeah, he was, getting blowjobs, and there was the war in the Balkans. We didn't.
James in the chat saying, my parents are from Bosnia. I feel you, Lubi.
Yeah. lots of Mostar is actually, oh my God, it's literally like a postcard. How beautiful it is. They have a gorgeous river, gorgeous bridge that they're known for, just the cuisine and everything. Mostar, like very famous. So I don't know. You should guys visit. I know it sounds like lame.
I want to go.
But
I'd love to go.
Really
I was going to say, no one
worth
here
it.
is saying, no, we don't want to go.
No.
True. Everybody
dare
prays
It's not
for
like the
country,
Gaza
you know,
Strip. It's like, you know what? I'll give it a decade. Let them clean that up a little bit. Maybe I'll come and check out an all-inclusive resort when one opens up. But
Like,
you guys have been
beautiful
around
beaches,
for
lots of
30
history.
years.
Oh, yeah, please.
I think they're
Gaza
pretty much
Strip
established.
resorts, I don't know how. Oof.
Yeah, it's going to
How
be
to
like
feel
Fire
about
Fest. We're just going to be in bad tents with bologna sandwiches in that area.
A lot of love
Oh,
for Lubi in the chat. Old Restless coming in saying, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is great. Lubi, we can watch
Thank you.
together if you want.
Thank you. Sure.
When we were doing the tone deaf celebrity segments involving the LA fires, one of the ladies we were featuring was from the Salt Lake City one, and that's how I learned that there was a Salt Lake City Real Housewives
Right.
one. I knew there's like a New York, New Jersey, and I think Beverly Hills. Those are the three I knew of, and apparently now there's Salt Lake City, there's Montenegro, they're just everywhere.
Girl can wish, but
You could get on one of those franchises and open something in Montenegro. They're not
I was going
doing
to say the Real
anything.
Housewives of Montenegro.
Yeah.
I tried to pitch it. I legitimately, in a delirium, I guess, pitched it to Andy Cohen. And I sent him, like, I think a DM on Instagram of a show called Queens from Queens. Mm-hmm. Because all of the immigrant ladies live in Queens and we're fun. We can drink. We get into fights. We hang out good. We're good friends.
You guys do
everything.
enjoy a mimosa. You post a lot of brunch pics.
Right? Don't you like see how much fun I'm having with my friends through my Instagram? It's not fake. It's really, we know how to live a full life. So I think that will translate well. And although majority of reality stuff is scripted, of course, but I know. I'm sorry. Also, Santa's not real.
Now I can't watch it anymore.
Sorry.
Well, you just ruined two things for Jordan now.
Oh, damn it.
Well, I guess I'll go be Jewish.
Well, let me tell you about what they've been up to. You're not going to be happy. All right. So
does it involve resorts?
Yeah, apparently it's a big land grab going on right now. So there might be, you might have Hard Rock Jerusalem opening up soon.
Texas Roadhouse is all up on the Gaza Strip.
There's a Margaritaville. Yeah, that's all that. There's a Bubba Gump shrimp in the land of kosher products.
Just the idea of how many children died over there. I can't even conceive having a pina colada. Like, I just cannot. My mind is not ready for that at all.
I know it's horrible, but who knows? Anything goes now. It's only been 3 weeks into this current administration. Everything is up for grabs. It's all boggle happening right now.
He's doing so
Not
much.
boggle,
I can't even
Yahtzee.
keep up
That's what I'm
anymore. I
thinking
can't
of.
even keep up. I don't even care anymore. Like, there's just so much in one day to catch up with.
I have a theory. Now, Jordan, this kind of relates to what you and I were talking all towards the latter half of 2024. We would like to have a year where it's just boring, where nothing is going on. It's like, all right, something's set in place, and then nothing happens for the longest time. And you can sit there and go, remember when stuff really, like every day there was something new, and now it's just taking forever? Like nothing's happened this entire summer, like something like that, right?
Yeah, I was telling Eric, I'm tired of living through major events in history. I just want to be like, what happened in 2025?
We're skimming a book and
boring.
just reading the chapter titles. We're not even reading what the chapters involve. It's like there's another chapter tomorrow.
Too much.
So what I'm thinking is, if this is just going so fast, like an art flip book, you're flipping the pages, it's telling a story. At some point, the rest of this year, nothing's going to be happening because everything's happening up front.
Oh, Erik, you just jinxed us.
No.
There's going to be an earthquake.
Power of positive thinking.
Tsunami in New York.
Yeah, we're getting it all out now because, look, the worst part of the year is January through March because it's a terrible part of the year. The weather sucks. Nothing really happens. Who cares? I mean, Super Bowl.
Valentine's Day, Erik. Come on.
That's a garbage holiday. There's no real holiday to look forward to, up until Memorial Day. And I know there's Easter and other shit, but who gives a fuck about this stuff? We're in the part of the year that really nothing matters, right? So let all the bullshit happen now, because then as the springtime comes around in the northern hemisphere, we start getting into the summer festivities. It already happened. Now we've got a great summer where nothing's going on. We're taking luxury cruises on the Gulf of America. It'll be fantastic. One can hope.
We own Greenland, of course.
I know. For next winter, think of the skiing.
Wow.
Could you imagine that the reason why he wants Greenland is to treat it like it's our version of Australia, and that's where we're putting all our criminals? So that's like our Australia. Just stick them over in Greenland.
Wow.
I never thought about it. Like crazy people and criminals?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Wow.
But we know, see, when England did that,
like Siberia,
to Australia, they didn't know the amount of resources that Australia had at the time, right? They just saw it as a vast wasteland because they showed up somewhere, in one of the treacherous parts of the outback, and they go, this is uninhabitable. Let's just dump them all here and be done with it. We know the value of Greenland. We know what's going on. Hell, we saw that movie where the meteors are coming and everyone was trying to get to Greenland to live in those bunkers under the mountains so that we could survive. So we know the value of Greenland.
Wow.
Yeah, but see, that's just a working population.
Are we going to dump our rejected and unwanted?
Yeah, we
over
put our
Greenland?
rejected and unwanted. They could either purge themselves or they can work the land for a pittance of a stipend.
You dump them all there and they all have to get the Dutch boy haircuts. It's like, like how they wear the orange outfits, the chain gang kind of thing. That's how they all have the Dutch boy haircuts. Oh.
They might live like a stress-free life, all of those people, like ostracized from society, not worried about any of the bullshit that we are going through.
They're all happy. They're like, you know what? Turns out they were the real criminals. It's like,
hanging out. Like, they're alike. They have similar interests. They reminisce on crimes they have committed. Nature around them. You know, serenity. Why not?
Old Restless in the chat saying, an uneventful life would be wonderful.
Just
give us a year. Give us a year of nothing really happening.
I mean, at this point, I would take a month. What happened to February? I don't know.
Let's treat a year like it's summer vacation from school.
Yeah.
We could stay up as late as we want. We don't have to worry about getting up early the next day. We just go to the beach all the time. We party every day. Is like, do we have enough money for gas for our car? That's all our main concern is. Do we have enough to go out to eat and put gas in the car? Great. You're going out to party all the time, bunch of boats. Or if you're in those areas that enjoy lakes, if you like
God,
that.
I miss 20s. Oh, man. Boy, was I stupid and
They have
gorgeous.
lakes in Montenegro. Do you know about lakes and boats?
We have lakes and boats. Yes, we do.
Okay. Good.
Plenty, if you will.
All right. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's get moving with some of this stuff here. First up, thought we were going to start with something pleasant, but we're not. There's so much to catch up on here. We need to talk about
So much
a brand new
garbage
update
online. Let's catch up.
for This Week in Disasters. When we last left you, we watched a plethora of train crashes that were happening on the Bright Line on the east coast of Florida.
Right.
A train line in Auburn, Washington, which we found out is a hotspot for constant train wrecks. We watched a passenger train with double engines on the front pulverize a
truck.
A truck. Just destroyed the cabin and part of the... not the caboose, what do you call it? The cargo, the load of the truck there. The guy, rather large gentleman, barely waddled out of the cab and made it to safety as the train plowed through that. And then, of course, the big news was the American Airlines flight that collided with the Black Hawk helicopter and crashed into the Potomac right there in outside of D.C.
It was a very uplifting episode. Go check it out if you haven't already.
Right. So you're like, all right, that's a lot in one period. We should be okay for a little while. Well, we finished that show, and the next day there's a plane crash in Philadelphia. There's a plane on fire in Houston. 2 happened yesterday and today that we need to talk about. So let's get into the big one here. On January 31st, the one everybody knows about, a medical jet crashed in northeast Philadelphia this past Friday, leaving 7 dead and injuring at least 24 others. It was a medical jet that was transporting a child and her and their family who had just completed treatment for a life-threatening condition. It was a cancer hospital. I think it was Shriners. They were coming from Shriners Hospital for treatment. Her mother and 4 others died when it crashed. Officials said all of the individuals, including the crew, were on their way to Mexico. The flight's final destination was Tijuana after a stop in Branson, Missouri, because, you got to see Andy Rooney. He might do Moon River. And then there was no official cause for the crash yet. It's been a week. They have the box. They have everything. They still have no idea. I'm starting to think...
It's Andy Williams. You kill me so much sometimes. Andy Williams. Andy Rooney's completely different.
You don't think he's going to do Moon River? Then pow! Second encore.
You just imagine Andy Rooney doing it. It's like, okay.
Did I say Andy Rooney?
You did.
Oh, wow. I meant Andy Williams.
Completely different.
Even funnier. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's what I'm thinking. Wild speculation. Who was the golfer that was flying his plane, remember? And then something cracked in the windshield and they all froze to death instantly because they were up high and the plane kept flying for a while.
Oh,
was it Payne Stewart?
It was Payne Stewart. It was back in 1999.
Okay. So that situation, there was a crack in the hull or in the glass somewhere around there, and they all froze to death instantly because they were up too high. They suffocated and froze. I'm wondering if this was that kind of situation, because we're going to watch some of the footage that showed up here. That thing pummeled to the earth like when you would see footage of the Gaza Strip or other wars where you would just see missiles landing in apartment buildings and other parts of the terrain. The plane hit with that trajectory and that impact. I'm wondering if something happened, they all froze, suffocated, something, and the plane just wasn't on autopilot and went down, because for it to go down as aggressive as it did, I don't know what else it could have been unless it was shot down.
But was it that far? Like, didn't it just take off, or was it just flying overhead?
I know it left Philadelphia. I don't remember the name of the airport in Philadelphia. I know it left there, and the control tower had spoken to the pilot during takeoff, and they got to their altitude. Then later, the air traffic control couldn't contact them again, and then shortly after this incident happened here. I don't know what else it could have been other than lack of oxygen. They all were unresponsive, no autopilot, and the thing crashed. I have no idea.
On the American Airlines flight, there was also a little girl who just finished her cancer treatment and then died in a plane crash, and then this one. And
so you're saying cancer is causing the planes to fall down?
Basically.
Cool.
So
we have a leading cause now.
I
didn't know that about the American Airlines flight. I all I knew was that it was ice hockey. It was an ice hockey.
No, it was
not ice hockey. Sorry, ice skating team. That it was like the kids and their parents on that flight. That I had no idea that there was another patient that was undergoing. Jesus, maybe you're right.
Yeah,
maybe cancer is causing airline crashes.
It's so heartbreaking, though. It's horrible. And she beat cancer, but didn't beat the Black Hawk.
No, you can't beat gravity, apparently. This footage showed up here. We're watching it because you don't get to see stuff like this. You usually see like some kind of security camera off in the distance. Maybe you see a sky light up. you see a little dot or something. You don't really get the up close stuff unless the news gets access to it or somebody was nearby and had their phone. Anything in that capacity, usually officials don't release that graphic footage for this kind of thing. This was everywhere. It just landed on a corner near a mall. And
I was gonna say, because most of the time with these footage, like what you see these things, they're usually like, thankfully, not in very populated areas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even the Black Hawk helicopter and everything was over water.
Over a river,
like, you know what I mean? Like, there was no ground issues. All the casualties, unfortunately, were from the plane and the helicopter. And in this case, you're right. You got people just sitting there with their cell phones watching debris fall 5 feet from them, and you don't see that every day.
No, it's. I'm saying it's impressive in the sense of that, like, you never get to see this stuff. Not like, wow, that was one of the better, airline tragedies that we've seen in our day.
Well, it's top 10.
Yeah.
It ranks. It definitely ranks.
I'm predicting in February that Greece is definitely going to suffer. The Santorini, the whole thing that's going on there with potential tsunami and volcano eruption. So I think we had such a fun January with 2 plane crashes, but now I think Greece is taking over for February.
It's going to make our weekend disaster is going to be really good. Now we get
I
volcanoes.
hate that soundtrack. I refuse to play it. We're not going into that territory.
That's why it's a disaster.
It is. Let's take a look at this footage that I've compiled here from the Philadelphia crash.
Oh my God.
You're right.
I didn't see that one.
Wow. Way too aggressive.
Yeah.
A rocket.
It's insane.
Wow.
Gives
But
me
wait,
chills.
watch. This is somebody's dash cam. They're just sitting there at a light.
Oh my God.
Oh, move! Michael, move! Move! We can't reflect it. Oh! I'm calling 911.
This was I think this footage here was like the multi-tier parking garage for the mall right near where this thing hit. So you're at the top tier here getting your car and you just see this explosion. It's interesting. People don't know how to act towards this stuff because, we're in an area of the world that this doesn't usually happen. It's unfortunate when you see footage from other parts of the world that are used to constant war going on or bombing or missiles, whatever, where they know how to, I'm not saying duck and cover, but you see how they react to something like this, where here everyone just went, oh shit, and then got their phones out. Like nobody ran like this is a terrible thing. You don't know what this is at this point. Mm-hmm. And nobody has these survival instincts anymore. When something this terrible happens, they're like, oh fuck, get the phone out, let's run over and see what's going on here. It's a shame.
I know.
Another dash cam, the light, boom. Like it's...
Eesh.
Now, the rest of this footage is on the ground looking like people are just running right up to the wreckage as it's happening here.
To take a selfie, I'm assuming?
No, I didn't see anybody yelling World Star and turning it on themselves while they were doing this. I'm sure it's out there, but this last part is so disturbing.
This is why I watch garbage on TV. This is why I watch Real Housewives.
I get it.
It's bags and catfight.
Yeah.
And wigs. It's the best.
Now, what happens if the housewife stuff turns into this? Like they start, tracking cars, car bombs, mafia tactics.
Then
like
I'm
that.
going to start watching it.
There you go. Then they're going to lose women for sure. So that's what's going to happen. But do you guys enjoy flying? Are you relaxed?
No, I'm never relaxed.
I'm fine.
I can't sleep on planes. I can't do any of it. Like I'll do it. I mean, I like vacations. I hate the travel. Like in any situation, I hate driving in a car to my destination. I like being places. I don't like staying in the area. I definitely
I don't think
hate
flying
takeoff
is
and
fun,
landing.
but I don't mind having to do it.
I don't enjoy it. I struggled a lot over the years of like having panic attacks. And then I discovered a fantastic world of benzodiazepines. Is that how they're called? Benzos. And they were prescribed to me by a doctor simply for my anxiety when I'm flying, because I lost my shit once, so it wasn't good. And
she got kicked off a plane because she was pointing at somebody in the back saying, "That's not a human." Yeah, that's not a human being.
That motherfucker is that real? Yeah, that was me.
Trash Terry, this is why I watch Jersey Shore.
Exactly.
No, but see, I would like to see these kind of tragedies in Jersey Shore.
So go for benzos is what I'm saying.
Maybe I'll have to try that because well, the problem is I tried what is it, the stuff that the anti-nausea medication, but that makes you drowsy. I tried that once and I did fall asleep on the plane, but then it made me feel gross for like half a day when I got to where I was going, and I just can't do it.
Those make me feel weird after I'm done with my flight. That's absolutely correct. But benzos, I'm telling you, a whole new world of like, I'm out for like 6 hours sleeping. I don't care if we're shaking. I don't care if we're landing. It's all good because I would be like for 10 hours like this. And like, I would hear every sound.
Yeah.
And I would not enjoy anything.
Well, that's how I am too. Like I flew from Arizona to Germany, and it's like, go to Atlanta and then you go up. I mean, I'm on the plane for 16 hours and I can't sleep. So I'm like watching the sun go down in New York and watching the sun rise in Ireland. And like, I need to get some sleep. I just couldn't do it.
And the anxiety you're feeling throughout the flight wears you out so much. I feel like after a flight, I'm like, it doesn't seem worth it. And I was like really, really, really upset about it. But the whole new world, man, I'm telling you, buy a good pillow. I bought like this pillow that's like a square where you shove your head in like it's weird. It's crazy. And like, I just sleep. You kind of hug yourself. That's the type of pillow I have.
Right.
I take 3 pills and it's the best. So,
when we were out in San Diego over the summer, we did the show out there, and Jordan dropped me off at the airport, and I told him, I said, I lucked out. The cabin's closed. We're ready to go. I have nobody in my row. And I sent him a photo showing him that, like, there's nobody here. I immediately ordered a Bloody Mary.
You were drinking?
Which they don't mix for you. They give you the can of like what is it, Mr. and Mrs. T Bloody Mary mix in the can, and then they give you the little bottle of Tito's vodka. Mixed it all together. I had my travel olives with me, as I do.
So gross.
Put them into the.
You travel with olives?
I do.
Yeah, he's a disgusting person. He
I
probably
just
microwaves
lost all of
fish in
my
an
respect
office.
for you.
No, why?
Because olives are gross.
Olives are not gross.
Who travels with olives?
I do.
travel with benzos. That's cool.
I have these little.
We're gonna stuff them in his olives, so
I have
he
this little,
like a dog.
these little pouches that are green olives, with garlic and whatever. And there's the photo. I was looking at it.
I mean, you are particular with your food, and you know how to pick well. So I kind of have to retract what I just said. I was just being an asshole. You're right.
No, it's all right.
You know how to pick up good stuff.
I had nobody there. I pulled all the shades down. I lifted all the armrests up. I chugged.
God, I forgot how tired we were because we had to get up.
It was like 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, so
sucks so bad.
I just gulped it down real quick. Took my my hoodie, made a pillow, laid out. And I felt bad because on the other side of the row was a family of 5 in 3 seats.
Yep.
Or family of 4 in 3 seats. So it was mom, dad, and a younger kid. And then they had like a toddler. I would say 1 to 2 range. So that kid was sitting with the mom, but then also like they were like having to have their legs open and everything else so the kid could walk around in that area. They're cramped. I have 3 seats to myself. I lay flat out, I have my eye mask on, and I went to sleep.
Yeah, Eric's like, well, I'll see you later. I'm going to time travel till tomorrow.
I time traveled all the way back to New York. I went to sleep. Next thing I know, I'm getting tapped to wake up that we're getting ready to land.
Wow.
It was one of the best flights I ever had.
You don't fly with pillows? I mean, you take olives, so I'm assuming
I do. Once in a while, I have like the pillow that goes around your neck like that. I don't think I had it during that trip. So I didn't, and they don't give you like complimentary pillows and blankets and that stuff anymore.
You got 3 seats. You were great.
I was great.
That's such a nice setup.
Stretched across. This family's trying to juggle infants.
I had my whatever playlist I was listening to going, my earbuds in, the mask down, and I felt bad because the father's sitting on the aisle seat over there, and he looks over, sees me, and he's cramped a family of 4 in 3 seats. And I could have been nice and said, "Hey, do you want to take this extra seat?" And I didn't, because I'm not giving up my aisle seat. So I just laid out and went to bed. And that was it.
Fantastic. What else do you travel with food-wise?
It depends. Like, the olives are a must. I have the olives in there.
Depends on the destination. Okay.
Olives are a must.
Packages.
I have a baggie full of powdered stuff to put into your water bottle, because all the airports have the water stations in
Tell
there.
her what happened coming into San Diego with that.
Oh, yeah.
Very thing.
So I had lost my original water bottle, which was really a nice one. So I had a makeshift one that I got off of like a shelf in Target, but it didn't have the metal straw or the hard plastic straw, sucky thing, whatever you want to call it. It was all like a silicone kind of thing, so it bends and tucks in. And not thinking, I am on the flight, and at that flight coming in, I had the aisle seat, there was no middle seat, and then there was a lady at the window seat there. I go to open the bottle, I open it up, and I guess the pressure fucking changed inside the bottle. Open it up, fruit punch shot all over me, all over my yellow shirt. Right. So now I have a yellow and red shirt. Looks like I'm wearing a Hulk Hogan tie-dye kind of shirt. And I had to fly off, finish the rest of the flight, get my luggage, get back to the hotel, check in, just covered with fruit punch. I washed off as much as I could when I got to the bathroom at the airport. But yeah, all my clothes were covered in fruit punch because of that thing.
Oh my God.
So never again doing the water bottles that have the silicone tops for it, the straws. They're terrible. They just don't handle the pressurization. But I carry a baggie with a various assortment of flavors to go into my water bottle so that I will not be inconvenienced. And then sometimes, depending on the snacks, it could be a good travel snack is like a bag of combos, because you can't go wrong with that, pretzels and cheese. I also do a pack of Twizzlers once in a while. Same thing with the movies. I'll do Twizzlers with the soda, but that's about it. But yeah, that's pretty much what I care.
You're prepared for your trips. I appreciate that.
I've got all kinds of toiletries. I got a toothbrush in my bag. I've got the wipes if you need to use for the bathroom or something. I've got all that kind of stuff. I have everything pretty, and it's all compartmentalized in there. That's not the word, but compartmentalized in there. There's a lot of pockets in there. Everything's stored in there. I'm good to go with whatever I need. I've got a European extension cord travel thing. So for the planes, depending on the outlet, it's regulated so it doesn't surge. And you can put in there. And now I have 3 plugs out of 1 plug, so I can plug everything in.
Look at you, Erik.
Yeah, I know how to make this thing.
Gadget. Oh, you got it all.
I got my battery backups for the phone, for whatever else I need. I got the iPad, the laptop, the phone, the headphones. Yeah,
I can't make myself be a girl with a bottle. Like a bottle, I feel like I just can't do it. Like to carry a bottle around.
This?
Yeah. All of the girls at work, even guys, like have a water bottle.
I will admit,
I think that it causes so much pressure to me daily. Like, where is it? Did I forget it in a conference room? Do I have to wash it? Did I drink everything? Am I a bad person? And it just sets off too many things for me daily that I don't enjoy. Right. So I just don't have one.
I had a really good one, and I forgot it on the plane when I was going to Dallas to do the Blaze. So I've left it on there. I was pissed. But now if you take the time, I'll admit, a year ago this happened.
Oh, we were railing on
the
this
big
stuff.
frenzy with the Stanley cups, the Stanley water bottles.
Yep.
Because last year around this time for Valentine's Day, people were fighting in Targets because they had designer colors that were only specifically for Target. It was like a pink and a red with some kind of glitter shit or whatever. Ladies and all kinds of troglodytes were out there just fighting over these stupid things. And we mocked all of this. Fast forward several months, I go on a cruise in June, and everyone's got a water bottle. The cruise ship's set up for the water stations because it's all about the water thing. I didn't have a water bottle. I wasn't thinking anything about this. A family member said, I got you a water bottle because you're going to need it, because I hadn't been on cruises in a while. I didn't know it changed that much. So I was like, oh, I'm not really going to need this. That first night, I see this one guy real late. I just went up to the top deck to get a soda. That was it. I see this guy, father, obviously, Disney cruise. He's got a thing that's holding 5 of these things. And I'm like, oh, what's that? He's like, dad duty, got to go fill up all the water bottles for everybody. I went, oh, okay. And I remember thinking, walking back, I'm like, oh, I don't ever want to be that guy. Next day, I'm that guy because the kid needs a water bottle. I'm constantly going up there. My niece needs a water bottle. My mom, all of this stuff, everybody in their cabins. I'm now the guy, feeling bad for the guy the day before.
Less than 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm doing that. So then after the cruise, I said, you know what? There's something to this thing. Let me see if I'm going to keep using this. And this helped me get off soda. As much as I used to make fun of this stupid thing, and in a way I do, and I should be made fun of as well for these things. But this helped me constantly having this, and then rotating between water, a Crystal Light, and then I have my other thing that has like black tea lemonade. I haven't drank soda since June. So say what you want. Then I started researching all these things. Now this thing has if you can see it, like
it's
there.
a taser?
Yeah, I wish it was. Get out of the way.
Imagine.
Yeah. No, it's got a climbing hook thing on there. It's got a climbing hook thing, so you hook it right onto your bag, so it's off the side. You don't lose it. So
fantastic.
Yeah, the
that
amount
guy
of
now.
water he consumes is actually kind of almost problematic because this guy now goes to the bathroom constantly.
Yeah,
like he can't get through an entire show without either going to the bathroom or taking a break to go to the bathroom.
This one's a 32 ounce.
At night.
The other one's a 40 ounce. And I drink.
That's also bad, by the way. Like I don't want to go to the bathroom all night. I don't want to take breaks.
Not all night. It's just during the day. Like I'll drink this, and 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, it did what it's supposed to. Now I'm just running to the bathroom, and it sounds like I haven't peed in a week. Each time you go in there, like, what is going on? It sounds like that Adam Sandler bit, The Longest Pee, which was on his first album, where he kept peeing, and then he thought he was done, zipped his pants, turned to walk away, and he pissed his pants. That's exactly what you're going through now. So I'd say about 4 of these a day. That's a lot of water.
It's a lot of water, man.
Anyway, back to plane crashes.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. So, yes, we had the Philadelphia incident. Then on February 4th, we had an incident at Houston. What is it? The George Bush Airport, right? Yes, it is. Okay, so in Houston, a flight from Houston to New York was evacuated after they said engine issues were reported. Let me show you what the engine issue was.
Come on, I'll get along. Please remain seated until further instructions by the captain. Oh my gosh. Please get us on here.
It's about to take off, and the engine just burst into flames.
It's like, well, there's your problem.
Yeah.
Right on time, though, you guys. I'm sorry.
So, I mean, look, at least it happened before takeoff, not like you get up there and then you had another terrible incident. So this happened at 8:30 in the morning. The flight had to abort its takeoff at George Bush Intercontinental, not International, airport on the runway. The Houston Fire Department responded to the scene to investigate as part of safety protocol and began assisting passengers. They did not open the doors with the ladders. They activated the emergency inflatable slides.
Oh, I've always wanted to do that.
That everyone had to bounce off. Everyone had to leave their bags on the plane. They were not letting you get off the plane if you were carrying something. They were telling you, there's another video, I was trying to find it, I couldn't find it, where somebody was arguing in the back. It wasn't the focus of the video. You hear in the back, I need to bring my bag. Ma'am, we can't take any bags off the plane. So everyone got off the plane while the plane's still burning and had to leave their bags that they had with them on the plane, and hopefully those wouldn't burn too. At that point, I would have been like, fuck you, there's a fire, I'm taking my bag with me. What are they going to do? Make me sit back down at my seat?
They make you get back on the plane.
Although, that would be hilarious if they did. It's like, that's the protocol. He wouldn't let go of his bag, so he's just going to have to burn.
Yep, he's going to go back into the fireplane now.
Why not? What else happened? February 5th now. The wing of a taxiing Japanese Airlines plane hit the tail of a Delta Airlines plane at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. There were no injuries reported, but they had to evacuate both planes after the tails clipped each other.
They sliced in.
Yeah.
They scissored each other in a sense.
It reminded me of, there's video out there where that one cruise ship lost its engineering, and it was just slowly turning into the other cruise ship. So the front of one cruise ship took out the back half of another cruise ship.
Jeez.
And it wasn't like it was a fast turn that they couldn't be prevented. They were navigating, because if you don't know anything about cruise ships, it's all automated. There's propulsion that pushes them off sideways from the dock. Then it goes this way. There's things that spin them around. All of this cool shit. They lost power as it was happening, so the boat just has this forward momentum. It's like, all right, we're just going to take out the back half of a Carnival cruise ship. Here it goes. So,
wow.
Yeah, these planes scissored at the SeaTac International Airport. And then that leads us to today, as we're doing this show.
Wait, do we have footage of the Japanese thing?
We don't. I didn't see anything really.
I'll have to look for something.
I saw a still photo of somebody took out their window of just the other plane there, but it didn't really show anything impressive. So what was the point?
What do you think I'll find if I put Japanese scissor planes?
There we go. Scissor. Oh, scissoring. Get the clip from South Park.
I mean, if you find a video, you'll see. Kind of looks like it's cutting right into the wing.
Right.
I don't know. Everything reminds me of scissoring, I guess.
Today, as we're doing the show, plane crash in the Philippines. 4 killed in a U.S. military plane during a routine mission. 4 dead, like I said. Cause of the crash still under investigation. Now, apparently, we've been in this area for a long time. We're assisting the Philippines on a constant fight that they have with some kind of Muslim regime out there. That's all I know. This military plane crashed today with 4 dead. So this just keeps going. When we come back next week, I'm sure we'll have 6 stories that we missed the second we turn the microphones off and the camera goes shut.
See, now I have to call my astrologist and ask her, can I travel in 3 weeks to go to Miami? Because if she says no, then I just can't go because there's too much going on in the sky. Why would I risk it? So
that is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
Just kidding. At this point, like, who do you turn to? Like, God?
Miss Cleo, apparently.
Insurance? Buy that extra insurance when you buy your ticket?
Oh, I don't know.
100% refund. It's worth the extra money.
I know, but I don't enjoy flying anyways.
Well, don't take trains. We've seen enough footage of those too.
That is also like, but it's too much. I would be like very anxious getting on the plane.
I have some good news for that too, because we're going to have, I don't know if it's going to be next week, but sometime soon, we're going to have a nice montage of train crashes. Just Florida. Because the Bright Line that we talked about last week, where they plowed through the fire truck and through the guy who was impatient and drove around the security arms and got clipped.
Oh, was that the guy that was like flying through in that tiny car?
He got clipped and spun around and then hit the crossing signs. Apparently, there's a whole series of crashes over the years from this one track that goes from Miami all the way up past Melbourne on the east coast of Florida. There's also another train.
The Benny Hill music.
We could, but we got to find something else a little more humorous, because one, that's dated, and 2, hack. There's also another train line.
I like hack stuff.
No, I know, but sometimes there's There's respectable hack stuff. Like, yeah, that's just how it was back then. And then there was like everyone uses that bed all the time. Like when everyone plays game show stuff, they do the wah 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 wah, the trumpet, the trombone thing from Price is Right, and yeah, it's all dumb. So there's another train line called the Sunshine Line, which, of course, why not? That also crosses the other part of the state, I guess, through the Panhandle and to the south and all that. Whole bunch of crashes too. So somebody tipped me off on that. We'll have a nice fun
area, yeah.
We'll have a nice fun time about with a train crash package, if you will. Anyway, all right. So we did that. Now we need to talk about a couple of quick mentions here. One, did you see what they're doing with the post office? The post office now is holding off deliveries from Hong Kong and China. They're not accepting service. So if you ordered all that garbage off of Temu, you're not getting it anytime soon.
Nope.
Why are you doing all of this to me tonight? Like, hold on.
Right.
5 plane crashes, cool. Now I can't order my Sheen bikini for Miami. What is going on here? I want to go on vacation in 3 weeks.
You cannot order your LED glowing palm tree to look like one of the bars on the Jersey Shore for your studio there. Which, by the way, where's your lights for your studio? I know you have like purple lights.
Oh my God, you guys. Till about like an hour ago, there was nothing here, just the wall, because I'm actually remodeling the whole studio, and I ordered brand new like bright beige panels and new lights and new chairs.
When I was helping you with
for that untitled show she doesn't have.
Yes.
That is correct.
In a language that nobody understands.
That is correct. I will still record episodes in my language.
When we were originally designing your studio area, weren't you going to buy purple tiles? Didn't you want a whole purple aesthetic for that?
Yeah. So, because the whole logo and everything that I have, it's all like purple vibed, and I like that color. Nos for Lubi.
That could be a show title.
I like it.
Down.
I like it. And I was like, I actually don't like how any of this looks. And I like tore everything down. I tore my old purple studio that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Ordered these beige tiles. And my friend was supposed to come in tomorrow night and just fix everything. And then additional stuff would come on Monday. And then I'm coming home today remembering, I'm like, oh my God, I'm recording with Erik. And I have dismantled my corner. So I quickly patched things up, basically with my spit back, hoping you won't.
A lot of hubba bubba holding that up.
So luckily I have the 2-sided tape and some other stuff, but like nothing is as it usually is. So I feel weird looking myself like this.
Gotcha.
But I hope like the new stuff will.
Did you say I feel weird licking myself like this?
No, I heard it.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah. All right. That could also be a show title.
It's my accent. My apologies.
No. I prefer what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have that. Oh, Jared in the chat, I saw. There it is. Iron Eagle theme. That would be great.
I do love Iron Eagle.
Because here's the thing. No one remembers Iron Eagle. They all think of Top Gun.
Chappie.
And they all play Kenny Loggins music for that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's true. That is very true.
No one gives a shit about Iron Eagle. And there was like 4 of them. I remember seeing the first one. I had no idea there was 3 more. I'm like, wow.
I've seen the first 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Jason Gedrick. Ugh,
that's a great idea, Jared. Good on you for thinking about that.
Gold star to Jared.
Okay. We got if you're ordering anything from Temu or pretty much any kind of electronic through the mail that's coming from China, you ain't getting it. Ain't happening. And all the people that steal your phones. And somehow when you hit the tracker thing and you're like, how is my phone in Hong Kong 2 days later? That's not going to be there. So we'll find it somewhere in the port of of Oakland or something. It'll just be sitting there waiting to go overseas in a tanker.
They were using a loophole, by the way, Sheen and Temu, by some like law from late 80s or early 90s, where if the package is not over $800, it doesn't pay as many fees and taxes and stuff. So they would package them like that. So they're like distributed in smaller, like up to $800, and it's all worth 1 cent anyways.
Right.
All of that crap. So they kind of found a loophole, and that's how it all was happening. And I don't know, like with all this new Trump changing everything and checking everything out, they figured out like, oh, they're totally abusing this lame ass law that nobody even remembers.
That's usually how things happen. They go back. This law was from 1876, and it was on the books in Maryland, but it can apply. And you're like,
yeah,
who thinks to look back that far?
We're like, look, turns out I can hit my wife as she spits. Nice.
Dude, radio prep services used to have, and they probably still do. They used to have these things like, did you know? Or could you believe, those kind of little segments on there?
Oh, yeah.
And they would tell you about like weird policies and laws, state and federal level, of what you couldn't do. Like, do you know you can only a man can only marry one goat, not have two goats as a, like that kind of. You're like, what? Why is that even a thing? I think it's again Maryland or something. It's like, technically anal sex is illegal. You can go to jail for that. Like that was on a radio prep sheet all the fucking time. All the states and the regions that would have that law where, like, who gives a fuck? Like, tell me some
anal
weird
sex
laws.
with a goat, or
I mean, I'm sure who knows what they're doing in Utah, but everywhere else is just like you'd assume your partner.
goddamn Utah, they are weird as hell, man.
I know, Salt Lake City.
That's why the Real Housewives are good.
I know. A lot of what's the Muslim thing called when you can marry? Polygamy. A lot of polygamy and anal on the books. Utah is the place to be for being so uptight. You get away with a lot.
No pun intended.
There. They also have a generic hockey team that nobody cares about.
I don't want to talk about it. I was just thinking, like, if we get away with it, anal on the books could be a good time.
Maybe if I
writing it down.
Maybe if I use the @ symbol.
Right.
Anal on the books. All right, we can see if that one works.
Hey, real quick, a really bad law, New Jersey. If you're going to commit a crime, don't wear a bulletproof vest. In New Jersey, a person wearing a bulletproof vest while carrying out a criminal act can be charged separately for suiting up. New Jersey.
But if you wear it just to the beach,
right? This is actually a really fun one. In New Mexico, you can be charged with a misdemeanor if you trip a horse.
I get it.
Who the fuck's tripping horses?
A lot of people are just putting up that clear wiring in the woods, and just horses are tripping all over the place.
You got two people on like holding rope with just like wait a second, and then they yank it back and then trip the horse running
There's
by.
an overabundance of dead horses at the abattoirs. We can't get them to the glue factories fast enough. We need to make a law and put it on the books. All right. Let's get on to the Super Bowl stuff here because we have a lot to do. And you want to bring Gaby in? I don't know if she knows anything about football. Gaby, hello.
It's called soccer here.
You got to unmute your mic.
Hi. Yeah, I think. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you?
Okay. Yeah.
Hi,
Good.
Gaby.
Good.
Okay.
How about you?
Weird.
I don't
Gaby,
really know
Lubi,
a lot
Gaby.
about- Yes. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Yeah. I don't really know anything about football other than Super Bowl, Tom Brady, things like that.
Right.
But
You're not a Taylor Swift fan?
oh no.
Wait a minute. You don't know that she's going to get engaged when Chiefs win.
Oh no. I do know she's like the girlfriend of some guy, but no. Yeah, that's not my.
Exactly how she should be described. She's the girlfriend of some guy.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it works for me.
Well, Gaby, you're way cooler than me in this first minute, so thanks.
Yeah.
Jared
now
saying
we're on
that-
our Zoom call.
Yeah,
Can you guys
now
hear me?
This is our corporate Zoom call for the show.
Yes.
We'll just send the link out to everybody.
I'm wearing
Get
my work headset and everything.
And let's get to our PowerPoint presentation.
Let's
on
dive in.
Positive reinforcement in the workplace and the do's and don'ts of handling situations with your coworkers.
Let me share my screen.
Super Bowl is this weekend. Here's some things that you may or may not know. In the Philadelphia and the adjoining New Jersey areas,
Garbage towns, got it.
there are now official school delays, if not closings, for the day after the Super Bowl.
Oh, lucky bastard.
You've always heard that garbage where it's like, oh, the day after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday. Mm-hmm. Whatever. But this is like the first step towards making that happen by closing the schools, at least for a half day in some areas, some being closed at all. it could either be for a ruckus celebration because Philadelphia will burn either way.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, the plane already got the fire going, so now they're just going to add to it with the Super Bowl loss or the Super Bowl win. Either way, Philadelphia will be changed forever.
Trashed.
You saw the footage. The news has been shown nationwide where they're greasing up the poles. It does nothing. They've been doing this for years now. It does nothing. People still find their way to, like Scotsman, like scoot up the poles there, start swinging, stealing signs, punching light bulbs with their bare hands, jumping off onto dumpsters and awnings, thinking that, the cartoons make it look like it's simple. We could just do it in real life. So Philadelphia is going to be a problem. I don't know if Kansas City has anything like this.
No, they're
civilized.
I can't
really
say
knows
that.
It's people. They know they're people.
I really can't say that because the last time we won the Super Bowl, there was that shooting in Kansas City during the parades and stuff like that. So that did happen. But generally, Kansas City is a very pretty tame place. Like they celebrate, like the year before, they didn't have the same issue. So they're pretty good. But also, they've never really had a lot of stuff. So this is the most attention Kansas City's had for that, kind of celebration. So I don't know.
Well,
they're not Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a trash town.
You've got delayed schools, if not closings. People are going to be complaining about work. Why do my kids have off if I have to go in the next day? Because you're a responsible adult. Fucking deal with it. Ticket sales are down for this Super Bowl. And a lot of it is because people aren't happy with the teams that are involved with this, which I had said once this was sorted out about 2 weeks ago. If it was the Chiefs versus Buffalo or the Chiefs versus...
I would say Detroit, because you can't have Buffalo playing the Chiefs. They're same division. So it would be like, I would say Detroit Chiefs would have been more popular because people would want Detroit to win.
They're AFC, right?
Yeah, AFC, NFC.
Yeah. Okay. But I was saying, like, say the Super Bowl was the Bills and DC. Two losing teams that never, I think, the Bills never won anything. DC won something, I think, in the 80s, the mid-80s there.
Maybe, or like early 90s, and then, they haven't won since.
They haven't won since. But two loser teams that the fan base would be ecstatic just for them to get there. Right? Mm-hmm. And who doesn't love seeing that kind of matchup where it's, two terrible records fighting each other to one's going to be victorious and win everything. Everybody would be watching that.
Okay.
A lot of people don't give a fuck about the Chiefs anymore.
It's we all fatigued already. Like last year was like literally like straight out of a movie. Taylor was there, they won, there were confetti, the whole world was watching. And now we don't need to see it again.
And we're not even talking about like football team, a fan of a football team saying, I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl all the time. Yeah. And you had it in the 2000s. I'm tired of seeing the Patriots in the Super Bowl all the time. Yeah. You have that. But it wasn't the fan fatigue as much as it was a national fatigue of the Kelsey brothers, of the Chiefs, of the Mahomes, of Taylor Swift's involvement. There's just too much going on that it's more about that than it is about football. Sure. And I'm not a football fan to begin with. I don't mind watching the games, but I don't care who's doing what. I just see out there and then the Eagles coming in there again. It's a rematch from last year.
No, the year before.
2 years ago.
You're right.
Last year it was Chiefs San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nobody cares. And I'm only saying this because the viewership is already estimated to being down. Because it was like when the Yankees were on their hot streak through the 90s and the 2000s. If the Yankees were in the World Series again and they were playing the Dodgers, nobody gave a fuck about New York and LA.
I blame Blake Lively.
That bitch.
Seems everyone does, right?
Honestly, like the whole drama with Taylor didn't come at the right time. Everybody's tired of hearing that is so correct.
Right.
And I'm joking, but I'm not a little bit. Like the whole Blake Lively thing is everywhere, and it's getting very annoying, and it's tied into Taylor.
Yep.
Then Super Bowl, and just everybody's like,
Super
go
Bowl. Yes.
away, just go away.
Super happy fun ball.
What did I do? What did I say?
You
said
look
Super
at
Bowl.
Super Happy Fun Ball.
It's the way I speak.
I know.
I was born in a different country.
You were born in the
Eric just
wagon
got you
of a
both on
traveling-
here to yell at your accents. Like, he's a real asshole.
Speak correctly, throws things at her. Yes. Bartholomew in the chat, I'm tired of hearing about any of those people. Yeah, we all are. In fact, the only time people were excited to hear about them was when you heard about their homes being broken into. You're like, wow, his mansion was broken into. Oh, Travis Kelce's house was broken into. Then all these other players that I didn't know about were all getting broken into. I'm like, this is a fun crime spree. I would love to see more about what
we know where they're at right now. They're at the Super Bowl.
And you start thinking like, how is this not happening prior? Like now they figured like, well, they're at the games, they're not at home. Because one, you're like, yeah, why haven't they been doing this for the longest time? You wait to see where the teams are and then go rob their places. Number two, a lot of these people are multimillionaires. How do they not have personal security, updated security in the house? How are they just breaking little windows in the back nook of their house and going in and stealing hundreds of $1,000 watches and all kinds of jewelry and all this shit and throwing it into the side of a Corolla and driving off?
You should start a business podcast with like pitching who to rob and why is it strategically good and how beneficial it will be and what to take.
Right.
Just break it all. Yeah.
But isn't this like what happened with the Paris Hilton house? And they even made a movie.
No, that
about
burnt
all
down
those-
and she watched it on the news. Then she sent an assistant to film it with some somber music and said, look, I was there, and she wasn't.
It was an
Hey, we all
insurance
bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like the bling ring.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah, a lot of robberies of famous people and everything. So
You know,
same thing, I guess.
As exciting as this situation was, more questions were popping up. Like, how do they not have good security? How is there not anybody? Like, in the areas that these mansions are in, how are they not gated communities where people have to go through a checkpoint to get in? How is there no footage of that? Like, they're
guess
just
they
living in...
believe they're untouchable. Maybe.
No, they're very touchable. And in fact, so touchable, they took their stuff. And a lot of it's not getting back. One of the athletes, I thought, lost like $20,000 in cash. It wasn't even in a safe. They just found it in a box somewhere, and they took $20,000 in cash.
It was under his mattress. You could see the bills coming out the side.
It was all Scrooge McDuck. They broke into the bin, stole his number one dime.
But he didn't have like an actual bin. It was just one of those like plastic kiddie pools.
Jared saying all inside jobs. Probably, but when you see the people that... It was inside jobs, but the thugs they hired were just like... They might as well have been guys that were, waiting at Home Depot looking for day labor kind of stuff, because they weren't... One guy... there was a guy from the Bengals...
Joe Burrow.
Who got robbed. They caught the house. They caught the people who robbed the house. One of the guys in the shitty car was wearing a Bengals jersey and I think his wool hat or something that said Bengals that he took from the house.
That's how he knew where he lived.
Right. Yeah. But that's what I'm talking about. You're not hiring the top tier of thievery to go in and break. So it's an inside job, but yes, you're hiring other people so your hands aren't technically dirty, but have like a screening process. Vet some of these people.
Crime. Like they hire idiots to like execute your spouse.
Right.
That's why I like crime shows. I'm like, oh my God, these people are total
You know
idiots.
what's funny? I did see the other day on Twitter or X or whatever, Tanya Harding has an account now. And she got on and did a video like, I'm finally on X. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't recognize her.
She did that video the same time that plane crash happened with the ice skating team.
Yep. And then it was like that same day.
And then
she was celebrating, I'm assuming.
It was the reverse because then
she's like, I got their knees too.
Well, it wasn't the reverse. It was actually the same thing. So she put that video out. The plane crash happened. And then what happened? All over social media was another video of Nancy Kerrigan crying.
She was crying again.
About all that. And you're like, yeah. It's like maybe Weird Al needs to redo that headline news song that he did.
It was Jeff Gillooly did it.
Yeah.
Why do I remember that name?
It's like Buttafuoco, that's the only reason you remember those names because they were so ridiculous.
Right.
All right, back to Super Bowl stuff. So yes, tickets are bad. They're not doing well, according to CNN here. Some of these things are selling more than 50% cheaper than what they were supposed to be going for.
I am shocked what you're telling me right now.
The cheapest ticket for the Super Bowl in New Orleans this year has fallen below $4,000 on the secondary market, according to reseller TickPick, marking a 30% decline over the past week. and more than 50% cheaper from when they were initially being offered for last year's record-breaking Super Bowl. People don't give a fuck that it's the Chiefs and the Eagles going in there. I am going to lump this in for something that I've been saying for decades. Stop going to events. They're too expensive. The licensing, the ticket fees, the seat fees, all of this shit. Stop going to this stuff, and especially like with Ticketmaster, because they buy all their tickets and then put it on the secondary market, which they own most of the secondary market. So it's like I couldn't, like last week, you couldn't get Nine Inch Nails tickets. The thing kept fucking up, kept saying they're disappearing. And then all of a sudden, they showed up right there on StubHub. And it's like, oh, well, Ticketmaster owns StubHub. They disappeared from here, but they're right over here for like 2 to 3 times more than what the tickets were worth. Stop going.
It's all a scam. It's just accept it. Like, why are you trying to beat the system?
It's not trying to beat the system. Stop going is what I'm saying. You want to see prices drop. Why are you spending thousands of dollars to go see a shitty football game?
Dude, I agree with you to a certain point until I go to a live event. And then you feel so alive. There's something
I don't mind a concert. I hate going the to and from a concert. I hate. I don't want to go there, and I don't want to leave. No, the going home part is grueling too. When you're there, yeah, I would enjoy it, but it's not enough to overcome the to and from to go to these events. The pricing is out of hand for wrestling, for concerts, for football, for baseball, for any of those things, UFC, all of that stuff. They're all fun times, but the pricing is out of hand.
We went to the Mets game with all the compound people. Garrett fell down the bleachers.
That's it. That's the story. We're done.
Yeah. Stansel was yelling the N-word. Then Gino was yelling at the Pfizer commercial thing, like ad thing, like, you poisoned America. It was a blast. It was
right.
we were a spectacle. People were staring. I literally wanted to disappear, but again,
was this the Mets game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were all obliterated.
Didn't somebody dress like Grimace?
Oh yeah, Stansel dressed like Grimace and was touching him. It was awful and phenomenal.
See,
so days
I'm sure
like
that was a lot of fun, but the mentality to get to and from there, and then the ticket pricing is just not for me. And everyone else always bitches and complains that everything's too expensive, but then they shell out the money anyway. So if you want the prices to go down, stop going to these things. When they see a decline, they got to fix their shit or else they're in trouble.
True.
I, for one, will be going to everything that I can get my hands on. So.
I know, because he has disposable income because he doesn't take care of his kids.
I don't.
Jared in the chat saying, I'm still going to Punk in the Park because it's like $60. Yeah, that's not bad.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do too.
That's not bad.
Wait, is Jared in Chandler? Or they? Oh, wait, they're doing the San Diego one too, I think.
Right. Still, that's something. If they did it here, somewhere in New Jersey, like at the PNC Bank Arts Center, or hell, go back to Randall's Island where they had Warped Tour every year for the longest time. I would go maybe to do that. It's not that far for a $60 ticket, and you've seen like 1,900 bands on 18 stages playing. Yeah, why not? But for this kind of shit, who gives a fuck?
I was going to say, how's the pricing in Mexico for these kinds of things? Like, how often do you
how much is the Super Bowl in Mexico?
Actually, I went to see Linkin Park on Monday, and it was
you went to that show?
Yes.
I keep seeing footage. I'm going in September here.
It's really cool. It was really cool. But I actually went to see AFI because AFI opened for Linkin Park, and I was a lot more excited for them. So I went there, and it was about 45 minutes, and I loved it. I enjoyed every single second of it, and it wasn't bad. Like $125 probably.
That's not terrible.
2,500 pesos.
Yeah.
It was not on like the ground, but on the bleachers. But it wasn't really that far. The stadium was not.
How was AFI? Because I saw them back, I would say in August or October, something around there, and they were playing with 30 Seconds to Mars, and I got to say, it was not a good performance by Davey Havok. Like it was not the best, because I saw him with AFI with Linkin Park before Chester passed, and it was a phenomenal show. Yeah, he did. News to you.
Oh no!
But
plane crash.
But see, he was in a plane. It was Buddy Holly. But But I just did not like their performance this last time around, so I didn't know they were touring. Well, I mean, they're not touring here, so I won't see AFI with Linkin Park again.
I really liked it. I mean, I thought he did great. I don't know if he practiced a lot after that, or maybe he was just back. But he was
Fat?
There were
Wow.
2 shows.
He's well rested.
There were 2 shows in Mexico City before the show here, and then they had another show yesterday in Monterrey. But I really liked it. I mean, I was very excited. I was just there to see them, and I thought it was great. I mean, no complaints really from my part. So
Nice.
yeah.
I know. I'm kind of getting more excited about it just because I keep seeing the footage from the Mexico City shows. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't wait.
Actually, in Linkin Park, like Emily at the beginning, I was like, she seems like shy. She didn't really, stand out or anything.
She started singing a
After
bunch of
maybe,
Paramore
like-
songs. It's like she didn't know what she was doing up there.
Right. Yeah, people started screaming, Emily, Emily. I was like, is Amy Lee gonna come out from
Right.
somewhere?
Evanescence, everybody.
Yes,
Break
no, but
me
it was,
out. She's just beatboxing it.
yeah. But after a few songs, she came out of her shell, and she was just like, it was fun. It was
Alright.
a good show, and
I'm
it was like
excited.
2 hours long, just Linkin
Oh,
Park,
wow.
in about 45 minutes for AFI. So I really, really liked it. It was fun, and the venue was so close that I just walked half of the way and parked not that far from my house. So to me, it was perfect. It was great.
I have an interesting AFI fact for you. We have a friend of ours who went to go to an AFI show and showed up at the venue at the wrong day and didn't know why the concert wasn't happening.
Well, they had moved the concert. They had canceled the concert and told everybody, but he never got that message. So he parked down the way from the venue, paid for parking, walked over to the venue. No one was around.
Yeah,
the
venue was
gone.
closed. Nothing was happening. He had no idea.
Oh God,
And-
the phone call he did with us that like right after he goes, guess where I'm at? I'm driving back from nothing.
Yeah, and he had a date too, right?
He
Didn't he have a date for that?
I think he was with a friend.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And that gentleman is our super agent in Hollywood, Rob Stark.
So funny.
What was the name of that town you just said, Gabby? Started with an M?
Monterrey.
Monterrey. Okay.
Oh,
That-
that you have an accent, but you say Pico de Gallo? Ugh, kill me.
Pico de Gallo.
Pico de gallo.
See?
I got to ask this because I see this a lot in New York media because it's a mix of Puerto Rican and Dominican on the news, a lot of the outlets and stuff. You're in Mexico. You English is your second language. You will have that affliction on locations and certain things in your culture, people, what have you.
Ibiza, you mean? Something like that?
Something like that. But in New York, they have a habit of where they'll have Spanish names. They speak perfect English. You can barely detect any kind of accent. And as soon as they say their name or a location, they go super hard with the Spanish pronunciation of what it is. And I don't understand why they do that. They'll be sitting here, the accident happened. There's 2 dead. We're finding out more information. We'll report back once we know everything. Luis de Gallo, Channel 4 News. And you're like, what was that? Why do they keep doing that?
I guess it just feels weird to say something like I didn't say Monterrey, because it's like it's Monterrey. It's just something that that you
Right.
usually say it like that. So I don't know if it's that, but maybe it is. Like how it's supposed to sound, and when you say it, maybe you'll feel like fake if you're
I
saying
agree.
it in another accent.
Totally.
It's just like maybe something like that.
There's a guy who fills in on the nightly news when Lester Holt's not on there. Forgot his name. Oh yeah,
Good.
Jose Diaz Balart is his name, right? So he'll sit there and he speaks he sounds, like when people,
Velarde.
the what?
Velarde. That's the last name.
Balart.
Okay.
But he says Balart right, or at least that's how he pronounces it,
He
right?
says it right.
So I'm gonna
That's
go
what
with how he says it, right? I'll say it's right.
It's the Max planning again.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Mexplaining.
He sounds like when people are making fun of a white person when they're doing the white person impersonation, how he speaks the news and says everything that's going on here. And he goes, NBC Nightly says, "Hello, I'm Jose Diaz-Balart, filling in for Lester Holt tonight. And tonight we're going to go over down to what's happening down in New Orleans." Like it's like, what are you doing? He only picks and chooses certain things to go full Hispanic on it and then dials it back real quick to go back to white nerdy voice. And that happens
his
so
name
much.
Is Hispanic. It would make sense that you would have the accent and that
Do you want me to say my
affectation.
full name? Like, if I
Please
say
do.
my full
No,
name,
don't give
I'm
out
not
your
gonna
last
say
name. Don't give out your last name.
I'm not gonna say it in English,
Right.
weird, because it would just sound weird.
No,
So
all right.
I think that's
I
why.
understand if he said hello. I mean, if I say it, it's making fun of the accent. I'm not trying to do that. But if he said like, "Hi, I'm Jose Diaz-Balart," but he says it with his accent like that, it's fine. I get it. When you're overemphasizing it, seems to be what they do in the news and in a lot of media, and I don't understand why that is the big punch, because they're louder and more. There's more of an impact as they say it, and then they dial it right back to speak very
You're talking about it.
country.
It's interesting. It adds up a flair. Like,
And you remember
he's
the name.
proud of his
so.
background. He
But-
wants to pronounce it right.
No, it's fine.
I think
But
that's
when he
true.
throws it to other reporters that have Spanish names, he goes hard again, and then they talking about something, they go hard again. It's like front back.
Yeah.
Calm down. Just if anybody had the accent and they sound like that as they're talking and they're speaking English, because yes, it's not their it's not their main language, it's their second language. I fully understand that. I don't understand the choice to really punch it up when it comes to certain things and then dial it back immediately to go back to the proper broadcasting voice that they're using for what they're doing. It could be right. You could say, well, you're talking about it. You remember it. Yes, I do. But I could be somewhere else in the house and I have the TV on. I cannot really understand what's going on until I hear the overemphasis
There
of
you
that
go.
word.
That's actually what I was gonna say. So maybe it's just in case you're doing something else. When you hear the name, it's like you pay attention. So that's actually why I think he does it, just for you to really remember his name.
But again, it's his name and it's the way it's pronounced. He's not going to go, "Hi, my name is Jose Velasco." Like, it just sounds weird.
So you should
have
hope
to
not. That's
have
not his
the
name.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah. Like, wouldn't that happen? But
Yeah, I feel weird. Yeah, I feel weird in my language. Oops, sorry. I feel weird when in my language I have to pronounce stuff in American way. When it's name of
Oh no,
cities
Eric
or-
calls it the
or-
proper way. Please use it
Proper
correctly.
way.
My
So
bad,
I
the
wouldn't
proper
say
way.
I wouldn't say my name is Gabriella. Like, I'm gonna say
Right.
Gabriela,
Gabriela.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Right. But you're speaking in your native language. You're speaking with your accent, even though you're speaking English. These people are purposely losing every accent to do the news, to do reports, and then jump backwards to really punch up the emphasis on a Spanish name.
We
or
heard you,
title
Eric.
and
We
come
heard
back.
you the first time.
I know. This is what I do
They
here.
liked it.
No, but
Get a life.
But to Eric, because of the language barrier, you're not understanding it, so he has to.
I have
repeat
to
it.
speak louder like a dumb American to see if you'll understand what my point is I'm
Right.
making.
You're proud of it. It adds a flair. It adds a little bit of
If anything,
flair.
it's
Like,
more funny than it is annoying, because I'll hear that all the time. I'll pick it up. Same thing if I'm in the car and there's a big news station in New York, 1010 wins, that the 20 minutes, it's just like, we'll give you the world, and they go through all the news stories. I'll be driving, you kind of zone out a little bit, you're hearing stuff going on, commercials, you're not really paying attention until that one reporter comes on and says that thing, and then all of a sudden, "Dun," I heard that. So maybe it is a device that they're using. Maybe they're just being dickish. I don't know. It could be anything.
See, it's never bothered me when that happens because I'm in the Arizona Phoenix metro area, so we have a lot of.
You
Hispanics
are?
here. Yes,
Never
news
knew
to
that
everybody.
about you. Go ahead.
And so that none of that bothers me. What bothered me is when Alex Trebek used to do it. I'm like, you're a Canadian,
Yeah.
and every time there was a Spanish word or like a German word or something, like he punched up the accent. I'm like, you don't have this accent. Like, it felt weird when he would do it. Everybody else is fine. Eric apparently hates everybody.
Garfield. No, wait a minute. Is perro cat or dog?
Perro dog.
Dog. Okay.
Gato
So
is cat.
Garfield's companion is a pedo. What language is it? Like, he overemphasizes, and you go, why is Alex Trebek talking like this? Jordan is 100% right. There are clip videos out there where he's just over or mispronouncing things, thinking he's putting the dialect on it that it should have, and it's not. It's like, look, you can't pronounce the tilde. I know you're trying. You can't do it. Stop doing it. Just speak, dumb white person, and we all get what you're trying to say.
This is the long-winded way of saying he doesn't know how to roll his R's.
I know.
When a white person says quesadilla,
I know the alphabet. Let's see. It's been a long time.
Oh my God! Last week you pronounced tajin wrong, and it drove people crazy.
What did I say? Did I say Targine?
You said tajin.
Tajin. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no.
Yeah, tahine is terrible. I know it's the pride of your people, but it's terrible. I can't. There's gummies now. Jordan's been enjoying
everything.
I still have some. I have some watermelon.
I sniff it. It's just like
it's so good.
I live off of it.
Yeah, just put it in some mango.
Her eyes are just bleeding red.
Yes.
Oh, Santa Maria. I'm just like, no, it's just tahine coming out of her eyeballs.
Yeah. What is it called when you start bleeding from the hands in the Catholic religion? What is it called?
Oh, it's the.
You know what I'm talking
Stigmata.
about. Stigmata. Yeah, it's stigmata in Mexico. It's just tahine coming out of their eyes in just dosages that human beings should not be able to tolerate. One time I was debating. It was hot in New York City. Down the corner from Compound, there was a lady that would sell the fruit. She was cutting the fruit up and everything, and then she would mix it with the tajine. And I was debating, I'm like, can I just order it without it? Or am I the dick for saying don't put it on there? Just chop up the mangoes and the pineapple. I want all of that stuff. I don't want any of the seasoning on it. Everyone else was looking for the seasoning and barely any of the fruit. And I wanted to do the opposite.
Sir, I saw your pale complexion coming down the street. I wasn't going to add it to begin with.
Here's your honeydew melon, the blandest of all melons.
Enjoy your cantaloupe, sir.
Anyway, we were talking about the Super Bowl, so we should get back to that. Here's an issue that we've been seeing more and more over the last decade, and it's been, I think, more abundant this year, maybe last year too, but more this year. Almost all the ads that they spend millions of dollars for 30 seconds to play during the Super Bowl, almost all of them are already online, and they have been online for within 2 weeks of the game. What is the point of this? If you're spending, some of these ads were like $25 million for 30 seconds of airtime. You put it up on your YouTube channel, you'll get a lot of views for this stuff, but you're not making the money to cover $25 million off of a YouTube ad, off of YouTube ads playing from your channel to make up for this. So why are you spending all the money now to, for your products, your companies, whatever, and releasing it ahead of the game? What is? I don't understand what the strategy is there.
I don't get it. I don't. It defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah.
But I guess now everything lives online, and that's where it matters.
But you used to have it when the ads would air on during the Super Bowl game, and then they would be available either right after they aired on their YouTube channel or the next day. There's all the ads after they aired on television. A lot of the times they would say, hey, here's a teaser commercial. You want to see the full trailer of this movie? Go to our YouTube channel now and you can watch it, or the website for the movie, whatever. Now it's all there and said, this ad is going to air in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. It's like, what do I care at that point? I'm watching it now. The first one that came to mind and got the most attention at first was the new Bud Light ad from Shane Gillis. Do you know who Shane Gillis is, Gaby? Shane Gillis is a comedian from the Northeast here in the United States. Him and Post Malone are doing an ad for Bud Light. Let's take a look at this here. This is probably going to be my favorite ad. And this ad, I'll give you my thoughts after that. Here, let's
and
watch
he
it.
used to be our coworker.
Fish anymore?
Yes.
I got a colonoscopy tomorrow.
Fellas, I accidentally threw a lame party.
Okay, Ted.
They're on their way.
They're here. You call this a party? Cul-de-sac party. Launch. These beers are a metaphor for an invitation.
Is that our leaf blower?
Party at the sack.
You are cordially invited to the end of the cul-de-sac.
This is incredible.
Your mower smokes meat?
Oh, a smoker cuts grass.
Hell yeah.
I spent most of my money on this.
New rig? Fully custom. How many Bud Lights can you fit in that puppy?
As many Bud Lights as it takes.
A lot of Bud Lights. This cul-de-sac's popping.
Bill, get off the boat. The HOA's already breathing down my neck.
Yeah, it's just so ridiculous and fun and stupid. And it brings back the spirit of beer ads from like the 70s and 80s here in the United States, where you would have, I think it was Miller Lite, that used to do like the Bob Uecker ads, or John Madden in the sports bar with athletes and celebrities, and they were all fighting over tastes great, less filling. And it was just a lot of nonsense and ridiculousness happening in these ads, and it was fun, right? This ad is going back into that vein of advertising that they haven't done in a long time. I saw a statement that was from one of the advertising agencies that's handling a lot of these different clients, that apparently now the advertising mentality is that they're done. Where's the quote here? These brands are returning to racy advertising, comes as major companies have soured on the virtual signaling that was happening for the last several years about equality, about inclusion, about all these things. Not that those are not, those are terrible things, but it seemed like nothing was allowed to have fun or be stupid anymore. You couldn't have sexy stuff. You couldn't have good looking people. You had to be like, always had to have a message, always had to be, drive home a point of view of something important, instead of like, it's a fucking beer commercial. People are going to drink beer and do stupid shit. That's what's happening here. You're seeing stupid people drinking beer and doing stupid shit. A lot of ads have changed now that I'm seeing for the Super Bowl. For the better, for the worse, I don't know. I'm thinking for the better because they're fun. They're funny. I'm not looking for messages. I'm not looking for, that kind of thing of to be causes and be made aware of things. It's like, if you want to call it normies just watch the Super Bowl for the spectacle.
I hate that term.
I do too, but it's used everywhere. Normal people, the serfs, if you will. You want that peasant-like mentality watching the Super Bowl was to have fun. It's a party, have ridiculous food, and watch funny and stupid or creative commercials during the game if you don't give a shit about football. This is paving the way. This got the most attention, and then all of a sudden, I guess all these other companies went, holy shit, the Shane Gillis Post Malone Budweiser ad is getting all this attention. Let's just put all our wacky shit out there now, and they did. So much so that Bud Light went, okay, we're going to put out a second one. So here it is.
Is this it?
Hello? Come on!
Let us in.
Let us in!
We're here.
Come on!
Come on.
Come on!
Oh. Your cell phone's going nuts.
Is it?
Oh, they're out back.
Oh, they're out back?
Yeah, they're out back.
All right.
That was it.
Now, here's the thing. Maybe they've filmed many of these commercials. Like, this is like the lead up. Like, you're getting the pre-story to the main big commercial that we still haven't seen. Because I've seen that.
I don't know. I think that the first one, those are little like quick
that
hit
first one was a
commercials,
pretty
right?
big commercial.
The first one was in like a minute and a half. It's Post Malone, Shane Gillis, and Peyton Manning. So that is your big commercial. The little ones are usually what you saw leading up to the big commercial reveal. Now they're just putting it out there and go, oh, here's the movie. Oh, by the way, we'll show you the trailers for the movie during the Super Bowl now. It's like, what's the point? But they're still enjoyable. So, yeah, Bud Light was leading the way for all of this stuff here. Everyone is just trying to outdo each other by being memorable and funny and ridiculous. The next one up here, have you seen the new ad for Baja Blast from Mountain Dew?
No.
So apparently last year they introduced a new character called Mountain Dude, and he's a guy that wears like a green shag rug kind of jacket, and he's got like long, like Big Lebowski hair and glasses, and he's just one of these guys that the party's always around with him. So this ad stars Becky G. Are you familiar with her, Jordan?
I've heard her. I've never really
Latina artist,
listened to her music.
Big pop sensation. This ad is also directed by the guy's name I can't pronounce. Taniki whatever his name is.
I love him.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
He directed this ad.
Yep.
Let's take a look.
Tanuki Suit Mario.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Refreshing.
It's kissed by the perfect amount of tropical lime.
Well, you got me. I'm in.
Hold on.
There's no sweet seal.
Oh, that's gross.
Ooh, the moment I think I'm in a strange on the sea. Yeah, my flippers can't hold Mountain Dew. It slips right on through watershed.
Well, you know.
Killer whales are sailing by.
What is going on?
There is so much as he can tell you, so much he can say.
It's Seal as a Seal.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you for that.
Radio audience.
Well, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. A blast of tropical lime. Good-looking seal.
None of this makes sense.
It's my favorite commercial in the
Right?
history of commercials.
I love that they're it's like somebody told them, you're allowed to have fun again. You're allowed to be weird and crazy, and it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to have a message. It doesn't have to, be sensitive to anything. That ad's not offensive. There's it's Seal as a Seal.
It's my favorite thing in the world.
Right? So it's like everyone's like, all right, lighten up. You're allowed to have fun with this shit again.
Seal has been doing these kinds of things though, like lately, which is really funny because like a couple years ago for Shark Week, they had him singing "Kiss from a Rose" on a dock, and then a shark comes up and gets him, and it's like I think like the tagline was like "No seal is safe this summer," and it was just like I laughed so hard.
And good for him because
funny.
one very successful artist, multi-award winning platinum artist. That one song not only was just like world renowned, but because of the Batman movie.
Well, he credits Joel Schumacher for pretty much keeping his career going for putting that song in that Batman movie.
But then, being married, who's he married? Heidi Klum?
He was married to Heidi Klum.
That didn't hurt his career, either. And
what a detriment to Seal.
Having the mindset to being like, I don't need to take myself serious. Some artists take their shit so seriously that you can't do anything with them. Somebody here's the pitch is like, we're going to AI morph you into a seal, and you're going to sing a different version of this here. And he's like, I'm in. What do we have to pay you? Whatever the royalties that you have to pay for that thing, and then just give me a lifetime supply of Baja Blast. Done. Seal's in the video now.
Yeah. I love it. What a great fever dream. I love it.
There was another...
that's what happens when she takes those benzos. Like, she's on the plane dreaming of this.
It's listening to his...
I'll be thinking about it when I'm in benzos now.
You have the music playing, and that song's on as you doze off, so you're lucid dreaming now with that kind of shit. And you're like, that's the ad. I just made myself $1 billion. I had another short clip. It was a short hit from the Post Malone and Shane Gillis. I thought I downloaded it. I forgot to do it. But essentially, is like they're sitting there in the lawn chairs on the driveway. They're about to Post is about to take a drink, and Shane puts his hand out. He's like, you're legally not allowed to drink in a beer ad. He's like, really? He goes, yeah. He's like, well, when can you drink? He goes, at the end of it. And then the rest of the ad is just them counting down the time till the ad's done. And then they hit one and they're about to drink and the ad cuts off.
Yeah. I saw that one. That's why I didn't think that we were going to see that longer version. And then when they put that out, I was like, well, I guess they're just going to show us everything.
So, all right. I still think the Bud Light one is still my favorite. The Baja Blast, which I don't drink Mountain Dew, but is the second right now. It's fantastic. We talked about how people, a lot of these companies, the agencies, are not really into caring about social issues and anything anymore. They're out there to be fun and creative. Carl's Jr. decided to go back to the well and said, well, let's go back to what works for us in the past and bring that back, because they haven't done this in many years. It's the return of scantily clad women just with a giant oversized cheeseburger for no reason other than they can.
Let's be real. Everyone's going to be a hot mess after the big game. Been there. Done that. And I've got just what you need to cure that post-party bug. The Carl's Jr. Hangover Burger. Egg, double bacon. Yeah, you need that double bacon. Charbroiled beef, hash browns, cheese, and sauce. Just the way I like it.
Must is just shooting all over the guy's face.
And guess what? It's free the day after the big game. You just have to download the Carl's Jr. app and sign up for my rewards. So get your free hangover burger on Monday, February 10th. He'll definitely need one.
So, yeah, this is another thing fast food places are doing. They offer all these deals and discounts, free food, but you have to do it through the app. You can't go to the stores and get these discounts and free food anymore. It all has to be through the app, so everyone has your information. This is kind of clever. One, going back to what works for them. Two, that it's available the day after the Super Bowl, so you can get this free monstrosity, which
they're gonna kill the app. Like, there's no way that's gonna be accessible.
Right. What's the other part of Carl's Jr.'s, the other restaurant that they bought? Hardee's. So I'm wondering if Hardee's has the same thing too. But
probably.
Yeah. Bacon, egg, and hash browns on a hamburger.
That's funny because they've done this. It used to be called the breakfast burger, but they added extra bacon and some kind of sauce, and now they're calling it the hangover burger.
Why not?
I've had this.
Why not?
Is there any promotion or campaign for Valentine's Day? Do you know, with them?
With Carl's Jr.?
Mm-hmm.
No. Is there one that you're alluding to?
Yeah, there's one here. Like, if you go to one of their places on Valentine's Day and you kiss someone, they give you a burger. It's just that.
You just kiss anybody at the restaurant?
Yes. Either any of their staff, or if you bring someone with you and you kiss them, they give you a burger.
On an unrelated note, COVID is alive and well down in Mexico.
Yes.
They don't care. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to that. Honestly,
think it's
the way people think. Yeah.
Because one peso is
I get it.
They're playing with one peso.
You're gonna have to explain that. You're gonna have to explain that to Erik.
Yeah. So peso is kiss. Peso is the coin. So they're saying una hamburguesa es un beso. So they're selling the burger for one beso. One kiss.
Wow, what a fun wordplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you for not overpronouncing it for Erik. He would have
laughed. I can understand.
Beso.
The whole company's owned by the Mexican equivalent Jeffrey Bezos. He owns everything down there.
Yeah, I was going to say, love is in the air. It's time Carl's Jr. knows it, because it's launched an irresistible promotion to tell you how you can get a free burger for a kiss. And 14 de febrero in Carl's Jr. That's funny.
That's the thing with Latin countries.
And the thing that they changed it, like they put one peso, but then they put the B over the P.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. I get what you're doing there, Mexico.
Very
clever. How cute is
Latin
that?
countries, very passionate people, so that works there. Up here, we'll start a knife fight if you kiss somebody, or just some kind of hate crime is going to happen. It's like, I just wanted a free cheeseburger and now you're dead. It's a shame. Moving on. What else do we have here? We have a whole bunch of stuff. Hexclad. Do you know what Hexclad is?
It's those pans, right?
It's those pans.
It's like I think it was like the guy from Hell's Kitchen,
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, he's been like pushing those. I think that's his.
He has a product line with them for the pans here, and of course they have an ad as well.
We've made contact with a new alien species, and apparently they're foodies.
Oh, foodies. The worst.
Mr. Ramsey will need you to cook for them. You'll have access to everything the Area 51 test kitchen has to offer, including top secret alien cooking technology.
Wait, that's just a Hexclad pan. I've got these at home.
Unfortunately, it was leaked 8 years ago. The pan was developed using material from an alien spacecraft.
What?
Extremely durable but low friction. Created to deal with a thick egg-like atmosphere.
You're saying the pan I use to fry my bacon is made out of flying saucers?
We don't have time for a science lesson, Mr. Ramsey. The alien ambassadors.
The bacon is
already
made
here.
out of the aliens flying the saucers.
Whoa.
Not her. Him.
Hey, what's up, dude?
You're an alien?
All famous people are aliens.
I'm not.
I meant like really famous people.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Huh?
I mean, it's okay. Like, was it like I'm still thinking about Seal as a seal.
Yeah.
In the song in your head. It's like, you're not going to get rid of that.
Forever.
But we're now entering back into let's throw it against the wall and we'll see what sticks and just go with it. No idea is too crazy for these ads. Go ahead. Do what you need to do. We move on from there to, do any of you watch the show Welcome to Wrexham? I'm familiar with this show. All right, so the show, at least in the United States, is on Hulu. It might be Hulu or other platforms around the world. I'm not 100% sure. But it's about Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney buying a Welsh football club. And it was on the brink of bankruptcy. It's in a very poverty-stricken area of Wales. And I think their fourth season's coming up soon. They bought this football club, spent $20-something million to refurbish the stadium, the team. There's a men's team, a women's team. And there's a documentary show about them hiring new players, changing everything, and also documents the people of the town, how it's been bringing life back into this area of Wales. And they were always in the bottom of the leagues. And now the team has actually moved up with new players, money, and the fandom, everything they've done. The team has been progressing and moving up these... Promoted, thank you. Promoted up to higher leagues. And the show has been a phenomenon with this. So one of their main sponsors is, do you know Stoke, the cold brew coffee? You can buy it in the supermarket.
I've seen him at Target. Yeah.
Okay, so that was they have been a major sponsor of the team since day one. Also, TikTok was a major sponsor of this team too. It's on their jerseys. It's weird when they're coming out there to play soccer and you just see TikTok across the screen. It's something else. This is an ad with Channing Tatum, who was hired to bring in to raise morale of the team.
All right, boys. Your bosses are not happy with your celebration dances. So, drink up. Try to keep up. No, I promise, Ryan and Robin, keep it classy. Everyone put your clothes back on.
I mean, I guess.
I don't
Was
know.
Wrexham a reference to the Space Jam thing? Because that's the first thing that I thought of when it all started with the basketball
it
thing.
feels like it.
It feels like they couldn't get Ryan to do the commercial because the way Channing's acting is a lot of stuff that Ryan, aka Deadpool, would have done.
Right.
The mannerisms, some of the language being used. I think they just got Channing to tie it into everything. It's like, oh, remember he was in the Deadpool movie too. And we can do all of this.
Yeah, he owed him. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for making me Gambit again.
Yep.
What I think
You're
is
in
going
this till you're 90.
I'm surprised, like, well, I mean, it hasn't really officially aired, but, like, could you tell, like, in there, he was kind of almost doing, like, he was, like, a gay, like, dance instructor voice. Like, it seemed very...
Jared's saying
very
it's a
weird.
Magic Mike reference.
He would know. He's the only one that saw it.
Gotcha. Now, if we're talking full Monty, that is Jordan's wheelhouse.
Oh, God bless
Bartholomew in the chat saying, why did Channing Tatum look...
Desiccated. Like dry?
I guess.
Yeah, he did though.
He did look a little beat up. He's going through a breakup. I get it.
Needed the money. All right.
Depression.
Was this a depression commercial?
All right.
Oh, Gittles.
Moving on. Let's see what else we got here. This has been an ongoing thing. Dunkin' Donuts. What is Dunkin' Donuts synonymous with? Anybody?
Ben Affleck.
Boston, correct.
Boston.
So these ads started a few years back with Casey Affleck and then evolved to getting Ben Affleck in there with him. So much so that they wound up doing a Saturday Night Live parody of these ads with Casey Affleck in the Saturday Night Live ad.
I love that ad from SNL.
Right, it's fantastic where he hucks the coffee.
It's like,
at the
I'm not
guy's
smoking
car.
in there. And he's got his arms smoking out the door.
Such an old dad move. I'm not. We said no smoking in the house. I'm not. It's sticking out the back door.
House.
Right. So they're keeping this going. I think it was last year where they had the big lavish outfits. Remember they were
like
selling
a boy band.
Yeah, they were selling those oversized hoodies for a limited time right after the ad. Well, they're keeping it going because here is this year's installment.
Jeremy is a method actor. What is that? Coming out to his ready. The acting method from the book.
Do you know who Jeremy Strong is?
Yeah, wasn't he on Succession?
Yes, he was the older brother on Succession.
There's a book? He's preparing. He's doing his research.
I never did no research on nothing. Look where I'm at.
Exactly.
We're big time now.
You ruined it.
Did I ruin it, or do you have a breakfast named after you?
Oh.
Hey.
Yo, what is this?
What are you doing?
For the radio people, Jeremy Strong's head emerges from a giant, like 55-gallon container that's painted to look like maybe like a Dunkin' Donuts soda can, and he's just covered in liquid and coffee beans.
What in there?
We're doing a Dunkin' Donuts commercial, right?
Right.
I'm just trying to find the character. I think I found a way in. You're from Boston. I'm from Boston. Dunkin' is Boston. Boston is Paul Revere. One if by land, two if by sea. The redcoats are coming.
You're an artist, and I know what that's like, but how long is it going to take for the bean method?
I mean, I'll be ready in like 3 hours.
You should have paid for Matt.
I told you that.
But see, this is different. This is not like their full commercial. This is them. This is the prelude to the commercial. Like, this is like, it's like when they do the, like, here's the trailer for the trailer announcement.
Right.
That the trailer is going to drop on this day. Like, this is what this is. Like, this doesn't feel like the full ad.
Well, that's what they put out so far. So we now know that, all right, there's another, this is a franchise ad now. This has been going on for years that they're just doing stupid shit like this with people from Boston. I do have to point out that I think Ben Affleck has been out of Boston so long that he's trying to do
his fake Boston accent,
an impersonation of a Boston accent, and it sounds misplaced. It sounds weird. Well, because they said we should have got Matt, I wanted to look in and I was like, well, how come Matt's not in the ad? And this is the answer.
Mum, Dad, we have something to tell you.
You have a twin brother we never told you about.
I'm sorry.
Left him in America.
I always knew there was something missing. And that was Other David. You called him Other David.
Well, if there's two Davids, one has to be Other
David
David.
Beckham.
Look at those two. Is that me? Yeah.
No, that one.
No, that's his eyes.
That's his
David. Other David. Mum? I don't know. Anyway, where is he?
Oh, shit. I pulled the wrong ad.
Way to go, Eric.
Oh, damn
now
it.
we don't know who's going to be the other David.
Right.
Hold on.
Nope, too late. Moment's
No,
passed.
now I got to find the other one here. Hold on. I apologize.
I'm trying to get where they're going with it, but I don't know. We'll see.
It's the risk of a live show.
How do you spell Artois? Oh,
It's
yeah.
Belgian.
Artois. That's how you spell it.
That is
Got it.
correct.
Okay. Got it right.
Belgian like me, Eric. Come on.
All right. I'll pull it up this way here. Apologies.
No, don't apologize to them. They get this for free.
Okay.
No one has been giving us bits.
Fair enough. Yeah. If you want to super chat the shit, then go ahead.
Yeah.
Then we'll.
You want better
apologize to
quality?
you.
You better pay for it.
You want an apology? You cough up some dough for all of that.
That well is dry.
Okay, here we go.
Two Davids, one has to be Other David.
Where is he?
Left him in America.
Are you
Beckham. Dave Beckham.
No way.
Hey, what'd you say your name was?
David.
Try one of these. That is the best buffalo wing in the county.
You eat buffalo?
No, it's just chicken. It was invented in Buffalo, the city.
So it's not buffalo.
You all right, man?
Still got it?
Come on, guys. Sorry, it's a thing I do.
You drink Stella?
I have taste, David.
There's something I have to tell you.
My brother is a famous soccer player?
Yeah.
So how famous are you? Like Matt Damon famous?
Maybe Ben Affleck famous.
That's a shame.
The former England footballer, 40.
All right, that little "that's a shame" dig, that's what makes that funny.
Right.
I like that.
So it's somehow linking both of the ads together, even though they're two separate companies, two separate agencies. It's all synonymous, if you will.
But that's also like the Billy Corgan. Did you see that? The Bill Burr, Billy Corgan thing.
That's funny. Like, that would be funny if that was like a bit.
I think it is a bit. I don't believe that thing is real, but whatever. I do have to take a timeout here. Hold on a second. I'm going to bring this up here.
This is his way of announcing his bathroom breaks now.
Jared the Geek. $5 super chat. Jared, this is your apology.
Sorry, Jared.
There you go. That was the apology.
Wait, hold on. In Espanol, please.
Una disculpa.
And now we need the Montenegro delegation.
Molim vas izvinite.
See, that's what you get for $5, Jared. You're welcome.
Oh, I can do it in Spanish too. Chupa mi bolas. There we go. We're moving on. If you want to feel something that's a bit more familiar, some kind of comfort food in your advertising, Hellman's has got you covered.
I can't believe they let us back in this place.
No good?
No.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, boy.
So good. Oh, it's so.
This one's real.
Oh. Woo. And that is a sandwich.
I'll have what she's having.
I do still love her.
Sydney Sweeney? Yeah.
No.
Look at those eyes. Fantastic.
It's perfect. God damn it.
So for those not in the know,
About to have
or
some scissoring planes in a minute.
whether you're outside of this country or not familiar with the reference, or maybe you're too young, it could be both. This is a movie from mid-'80s, right? When Harry Met Sally?
Of course I know it.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Yeah, mid-'80s, right? So that was the infamous orgasm scene at Katz's Deli between Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. They have a sign. It's been there since the movie came out that says this is where the scene. This is the table.
They're still banking on that from like 1989.
Oh, yeah. People go and they sit there and they take their photos and
orgasm
enjoy
in
a
the
nice
middle of Katz's Deli.
Yeah, they all. Well, I mean, what's not to orgasm from? It's fantastic pastrami and knishes. If you look, one of the things I enjoy in my life is following the Katz's Deli account on Instagram. It's just guys spearing giant pieces of meat, cutting it up real fast with a knife, melted plates of Swiss cheese oozing all over. Oh, it's fantastic.
Now, I know Gabby's been to New York when she was out there a couple times. Did you do the Katz's Deli bit? Because I like every time I think about going out there, I kind of want to try and go. It feels
No,
very
I didn't
touristy.
I didn't get to go to that. I did want to, but I just didn't have the time.
She was with others.
You could have if you didn't go spend time with E-Rock at a Starbucks.
She was with others that were holding her back from enjoying the culinary delights of New York City.
No, I did do the Friends, the apartment and the Sex and the City.
Magnolia
girls.
Bakery?
No, the outside of her house.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't see that show, but my cousin wanted to go. So.
What's her name? Carrie?
Yeah, Carrie.
I don't remember the last name.
Bradshaw?
All right, so next time in New York, we go to Magnolia Bakery because if you like Sex in the City, that was famous from that show. I don't like anything there but the banana pudding. The banana pudding's fantastic.
It's the best.
I have the cookies coming.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, you can order them on Amazon now.
Oh, the ones I get in the store?
The ones that you were telling me about.
Nice. Yeah, the banana cream pie cookies are fantastic. Katz's Deli. We'll have to go down to Chinatown, either to a nice dumpling house or Wo Hop or something like that. There's so many great places to go. We'll have to do that next time you're in town.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have here. We did the Hellman's one. Are we missing anything? Oh, yes. This one here. Have any of you seen or heard about the Matthew McConaughey ad? For Uber Eats,
I've seen those. They've been running those during football season. So like I've seen some of the Uber Eats ones, but I don't think I've seen the newest one.
This is not letting me play it. Why is
The one
this
with Martha
happening?
Stewart?
Yeah, she makes an appearance in it too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For some reason, this video doesn't want to play, so I'm gonna have to go to over here to do that. Again, apologies. I don't know why that didn't want to play, but we can bring it in
Oh,
from
see,
over
look,
here.
he gave that one out for free. You're welcome, Jared.
When it happens twice, you got to give a
Yeah. Fool me twice.
Yeah, that's like that's getting your free dessert. You know, you get the apologies and we give you a little something extra. If it happens a third time, you're paying again. Because I will not tolerate insubordinates of that nature. All right, here we go. This is Matthew McConaughey tied in with Uber Eats that the NFL is a conspiracy for a higher power. Let's take a look.
It has been a banner year for the National Football League. Or should I call it the National Football League? From the very beginning, football has been a conspiracy to make us hungry.
And we'll call this a pigskin. Make people crave bacon. Bacon. And everybody loves bacon. I love bacon.
They do anything to sell food.
Coach, how come we only play on Sundays?
Because nobody's eating ice cream Saturdays, kid. Jeez.
So the Packers were named after meat packers.
So what should we call the fans, Coach? Cheeseheads. Of course. Why do you think Buffalo got a team?
These wings deserve a team.
Yeah.
I picked out a good team name for Buffalo, Bill.
Buffalo. Buffalo. And their biggest game? Come on. Our championship will be a Super Cup. Can't eat out of a cup, Ted, but a bowl? How about a Super Bowl?
And we'll start naming players after appliances.
Hey, Coach, do I have to be called refrigerator?
Yes. And Peyton? He was a beef salesman.
Omaha!
McConaughey's Ditka is hilarious.
Omaha!
Yeah.
And they're still playing us. This year, we're not even hiding it anymore. We have Super Bowl licks. With a halftime show presented by an apple. In a stadium named after a salad.
Matthew.
Yeah. Hey.
Sorry. You want me to make a movie about a football conspiracy?
Yes.
No.
Come on, Greta.
No.
Bacon's in.
Everybody loves bacon.
No one believes that football is just some conspiracy to sell
Food! When football makes you hungry, order Uber Eats.
I mean, that's a genius. That's a good one.
That was
Right?
awesome.
So, you have a movie for me?
That is
Yes,
fantastic.
sir.
Hold on.
Kevin
It's
Bacon.
playing over there.
That was the best part, yeah.
Everyone loves bacon.
Very creative.
That was a good one. Yeah, they did a couple lead ups to that. There were one where it's like he was talking about how it's a conspiracy to sell food, and then Jerry Rice sets down next to him eating a bowl of rice. And he's like, "What you eating there, Jerry?" And he goes, "Rice." And he goes, "Rice." You know, and it's like they're doing that. And then there was one where he was preparing to be Ditka, so he was trying to do like Da Bears, and he was dressed as Ditka and in like a mirror trying to do the Da Bears thing. So yeah, I guess they've been building up like the whole season to do this. That's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want about McConaughey.
I will.
I've really grown to enjoy him, even more than his movie roles. Just when he shows up at places, it's like, all right, he's a lot of fun. He doesn't take anything seriously. He's just there to have a good time and do whatever anybody else wants to do. And anytime
I've seen Woody Harrelson lately.
The what?
He's just him and Woody Harrelson. They just keep doing stuff together all the time.
Woody is hit or miss because sometimes I've heard stories of Woody being a real dick to people. I've never heard bad things about Matthew McConaughey.
I just mean like him and McConaughey have been doing like commercials and stuff together lately. Like they have been doing like
weed commercials. Oh no, they did the other one for where he's sitting in the restaurant at the table and it's raining
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they did another one. I think it's a Super Bowl ad, and I don't know if it's a Super Bowl ad or it's just a regular ad where they're reprising the role from True Detective, and they're talking about something else, but they're like riding in a car. So I'll have to find that one.
Okay.
But yeah, they're just doing stuff together.
Well, you don't need to watch the Super Bowl because who cares about the game? And we just showed you most of the good ads. There's several other ads that are out there. There's at least 20 ads out right now. Couldn't play all 20.
Not even that, just the ads. They're giving us all the trailers. We saw Fantastic Four.
We did.
We saw the new Jurassic Park. Yeah, put the Fantastic. That's a good one. I like.
Right.
I
don't have the Jurassic Park one. Well, it's not Jurassic Park. It's Jurassic World.
It's Jurassic World Rebirth.
Right? Okay.
Gross.
Okay. Here's Fantastic Four.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on.
But I just want to point out this whole 1960s futuristic world, like New York's World's Fair kind of thing. I really enjoy it. I think it was one of the things that I liked when they made the Tomorrowland movie. Even though the story wasn't that great, but a lot of the aesthetics, the feel and everything were all steampunky, yet mixed with this futuristic.
It's very retro, futuristic retro. In a way.
Yeah.
The dot, no matter what, we're all here.
I love Pedro.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
I gotta say, the Thing looks good.
He looks like the old comic book version.
Very comic book accurate.
Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5.
There's something here on this blackboard that has been a lot of talk on the internet. And it's right behind him here.
I see it.
It's showing this design of this wormhole thing, which is similar to what Tony Stark was 3D, holograph imaging when was it Endgame or Infinity War?
I believe it was
Endgame, right? It was the second. All right. This is the speculation is that they're in this world, but they're not from this timeline. So this is going to lead to more multiverse stuff, and that they wound up here. There's a clip. I think it was from the first Captain Marvel, where they talked about astronauts going up for some kind of experiment. They never mention anything Fantastic Four. They don't mention any of their real names, any of that stuff. It was just alluded to, and everyone thought that meant Fantastic Four. It seems like that was the experiment that fucked up, sent them over here, and then this might be the way that they come back with all the other multiverse stuff and Doom and all the fun things that we're looking forward to in the next year or two.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
The car looks pretty cool.
John Malkovich.
As a family.
You saw Galactus there.
My hope is that when they do these trailers that they show no Silver Surfer. I don't want to see any of it. Like, hide as much as you can.
They did. I mean, so far so good. They didn't show her at all.
Well,
so.
and they showed Malkovich, but I have no idea who he's playing.
Yeah, nobody knows.
It's just crazy. Like, I'm into this.
Imagine he's playing just another version of John Malkovich, which is pretty much a lot of his roles.
John Galactovich.
I don't like Pedro Pascal in this role.
You don't? Like, I don't mind him. Like, I know there are people get, like, Bartholomew's getting a lot of fatigue seeing him.
Why does why does everything have to have Pedro Pascal? He's great, but I'm tired as hell of him.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for a while too. It's like once Hollywood has a new flavor that they're into, they have to oversaturate that actor or actress. They're in everything for like a hot minute, and then all of a sudden they're never used for the longest time. So
he doesn't fit the role. He doesn't seem believable.
He doesn't. We'll see how the acting is, but the look of Reed Richards is not him. If Stephen Colbert was like 30 years younger, he looks like Reed Richards. He played a version of Reed Richards in Venture Brothers. I forgot what they called him in there, but he was essentially, Reed Richards. That's the look. That's the comic book look. Pedro Pascal is not the look. But he's also in what's the HBO series?
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
And I love that video game, and I have an affinity for Joel Miller's character. And
Right.
at first, I didn't believe him to be that great. And when I watched that series, I was okay with it. So that's why I have faith that he's going to do Reed Richards right, because, I mean, he did so well in that series, and I'm looking forward to season 2.
He was also the villain in the second Wonder Woman movie.
Well, that was terrible.
But to
He
him,
was in
we're
Gladiator,
pretending
too.
he doesn't have an accent.
He was in something recent, Gladiator. I'm sorry, Luby. What were you saying?
We're pretending he doesn't have an accent, and he does.
I mean,
so that's hard for me to overcome.
Well, the problem is that he kind of has an.
He rolls his R
R
saying Reed Richards all the time.
Well, he was born in Chile, grew up in Chile for a little bit, but then he lived in Houston most of his life. So I mean, most of his accent is kind of been faded away. It's not like Arnold Schwarzenegger's been here for 50 years and he can't ever get rid of the accent. Pedro Pascal does well.
Oh,
With
Mandalorian.
Pedro, I can hear it. It bothers me when he's trying to be like all American. It's to me, it's not believable. It doesn't bother me, God forbid, but it's not believable.
He's a good actor, but it's just it's like he can't be in everything, and that's what they're doing right now.
Even in The Last of Us, his brother and him had completely different accents. Like,
yeah,
they
that's
sounded
true.
different.
His
They
brother
sounded
Slowpoke Pascal. That's an old cartoon reference for people out there.
And who was that actress Anna, who was playing
Plumsky?
Marilyn Monroe?
My Girl.
Marilyn Monroe. Where was she from?
Oh, Ana de Armas.
Ana de Armas?
I think she's Cuban.
She's Cuban. I mean, that
I believe
was
she's Cuban.
me. Ugh. No,
Man,
don't like it.
apparently, if you have an accent, you judge everybody else.
Absolutely.
Well,
I
they
know.
can get away with it. We can't. I get yelled
There's
at for
roles
saying
that I just wouldn't say. I mean, I probably would for the money, but I would resent myself, low-key.
Jared in the chat saying, I think Pedro will be great in this. He might be. I just don't. The look, the announcement of him being cast in there, I'm like, he's doing too much already, and now he's got this major role that everyone's been dying for, as much as the X-Men to show up in the MCU. Now Fantastic Four is here, and they put this guy in there, and you're like, it doesn't
he's
fit
going to
the
be
image.
in a couple of these now.
Yeah.
So, he's our Reed Richards. He's going to be in, I think, Secret Wars. I know he's going to be showing up something like
he'll be around for a while.
Yeah,
And
they
then
own him.
maybe what if Secret Wars ends and they bring back Jim from
Gruffin?
The Office?
Oh yeah,
and now he's back. People look up if you were in a theater and you went and saw Doctor Strange
Multiverse
2,
of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. The fucking pop that John
people went nuts.
How do you say his last name?
Krasinski
got when he showed up as Reed Richards in there. Everyone went crazy for that. Who knows? Anything can happen. It's obviously they're not in our timeline. They're not in the time of what's going on currently with Marvel, but who knows? They'll find a way, hopefully, to wheel all this back together. The other trailer was, like you said, the Jurassic World Rebirth, which is Scarlett Johansson was the lead in that, right?
Yeah. Mahershala Ali is going to be in it. When he's not doing Blade, he's on Jurassic World.
Well, he's not doing Blade at all, so he's might as well fight dinosaurs. I can't really care about more Jurassic Park stuff.
I feel burnt out on.
No matter how good this movie might be, I didn't like any of the Jurassic Worlds. The T-Rex fighting the Super T-Rex, it's like Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla. You don't need... The T-Rex is like the top tier monster for dinosaurs. You don't need the super version of that, which was terrible. Even the second and third Jurassic Parks weren't that good. And I know they just... Because there was more chapters, more books that they had to bring into the franchise, but who cares?
Well, the problem is when they did the second movie, The Lost World, they changed almost the entire story. Like The Lost World was a completely different book.
Right.
There are things from the first book that they never put into any of the movies that they're going to put into this movie 5-6 movies later.
Right.
Now, I like the director, so I'm kind of excited about it, but I'm still, you're right, I'm kind of burnt out. And the last one, I think, came out in 2018. I'm just like, all right. We'll get another Jurassic World movie.
Another. It happens. We do have to move on. Lubi, I know you got to go. You've got an early morning tomorrow. So
I hate it more than anything. I'm not
doing
a
this show.
person
I couldn't
at all.
agree with you more. Yes. But Lubi does have to go. She's got other things to do. Let's give the promos and the shout outs for whatever you need to do there. Up on the screen is her Instagram and her YouTube channel. Go over there for those on the radio. LUBIPOPOVICNYC. Instagram and YouTube. Go over to her YouTube. Sign up for her unnamed Broken English podcast. We don't know.
That's what it's called now.
Yeah, the Broken English
unnamed.
podcast.
Maybe that should be it.
The unnamed podcast, or that too. It reminds me of that scene in The Simpsons where they adopted that kid from Albania and they caught him in the treehouse sending like secret
No, that's an
information.
albino.
Oh, all white with pink eyes. You're right. But anyway, go support Lubi. She's a nice person. She's quite lovely.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
This was a pleasure. I low-key was really waiting for this to happen for a long time, even though I wasn't addressing it.
Right.
So thank you so much for having me.
She got so mad when I invited her and I had no idea she was leaving the country.
I was pissed.
Yeah.
That's right. He told me about this last night. He goes, "Yeah, I was going to invite her on a couple weeks back, but then she had to fly to Montenegro
To talk the
It
Spencer
ruined my
Pratt
night.
stuff. And yeah, so, but
I guess I have to go to that crap hole again.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Sleep through the flight. But anyways, thank you so much for having me. And Gabby, was lovely meeting you.
Yeah, it's
And
very nice to meet
everybody,
you. Have a safe
beautiful
flight.
evening.
all right.
I don't
Take
know
care,
why I'm
Lubi.
doing this. Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Such a pleasure. Glad to have her on. We'll have to have her
silly.
back on again soon. All right. Let's get to the reason why Gabby is here. So a while
Not
back.
talk football?
Yes. Football with the
To talk about the World Cup.
yes, there we go.
Oh,
And how corrupt FIFA is, right?
I'll watch World Cup all the time.
A while back, we talked about Chuck E. Cheese and Showtime Pizza, which I wasn't familiar with Showtime
Which I
Pizza.
remembered. So
And Showtime, they were exactly the same thing, just competing companies. And it was a place where you could go to bring your kids. They had microwave pizza. They had an animatronic band and a lot of video games, which were the fun thing, and rides and some other little attractions there. For those of you who may not be familiar with this, let me show you the Chuck E. Cheese, because I think people, I don't think Showbiz is around it anyway.
I was going to say, you kept calling it Showtime, and I wanted to correct you. It is Showbiz Pizza.
Oh, it's not? Okay,
Showbiz.
Showbiz Pizza.
But you're right the second
My bad.
time, but yeah, you've been calling it Showtime.
My bad.
That's okay.
Chuck E. Cheese still is around in some way, shape, or form. They have their own pizza line that you can get in the frozen food section of Walmart and I think some other supermarket chains. This is what it was in its heyday for both of these places. The 80s into the very early 90s was when this thing was peak. And then after that, kids started to wise up and say, these animatronics are terrifying and hideous. And then gave birth to Five Nights at Freddy's about a decade later. Let's take a look. This is Chuck E. Cheese from the 80s.
When you see Chuck E. Cheese, he'll sing and play his game. He'll jump and shout and dance about, 'cause Chuck E. knows the way. The games will ring, the games will buzz, excitement's in the air. The bells will clang, the sirens sound, and you'll be glad you're there. Chuck E. Cheese's, Chuck E. Cheese's,
Tokens.
Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater. Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater.
There's a Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater near you.
That sounds like a threat.
Yeah, it does. It's like they're coming to get you.
It's right by you.
For as terrible as
entertainment cheese.
For as terrible as the pizza was, there was something about getting a handful of tokens to go play a video game.
They're like, here, and then you just put it in your hand. Or they gave you a little, like one of those little solo cups.
Yeah,
full of coins.
It was the closest kids could get to like the penny slots and gambling at a casino.
Yeah.
Or like the thrill of finding a token on the floor, or if somebody left it on the top of a video game, like they put up their tokens to play and then their mom pulled them away because they had to leave and they didn't use all their tokens. Like that was so much fun. The animatronic stuff, we'll get into in a second, but I wanted to point out in this ad how inconsistent Chuck E. Cheese is, because this is the guy in the costume here. Okay. And then if you look towards
the eyes are different.
Yeah, the face is all different. Now look at him in the animatronic as he's part of the band. They don't look the same at all. This one looks like it's going to kill you more than the other one is. But this is still horrifying.
I don't know why we decided to make a rat the face of a pizza company.
I don't know.
Like, that sounds gross.
Imagine walking into the Chuck E. Cheese and you see the rat traps in the corners over there. It's like, this place has an infestation for the logo, for the main mascot of the place here. They're just killing that off. Now, this is Showbiz Pizza, which I was not privy to, but Jordan apparently still goes to this day. No, with or without his kids. Take a look at this.
Definitely
It's made for sharing, share the fun at Showbiz Pizza Place.
Same concept.
We've got singing fun at Showbiz, eating fun at Showbiz, electronic fun at Showbiz, Showbiz Pizza Place. We've got big kids fun at Showbiz, little kids fun at Showbiz, family fun at Showbiz, Showbiz Pizza Place.
Big slides in this
Share
place.
the fun, come on and share the fun at Showbiz Pizza Place.
Now, this is what made me mad, because at the bottom here, these are areas of New Jersey that I am familiar with, and then I was like, oh, this existed. I was not aware of it. My parents never took me to this stuff.
Oh.
Is what it is. The animals in the band are all kind of mutations. They look horrific. They look like some kind of experiment. It's almost like the Ninja Turtles. The ooze got in, except they didn't.
Yeah, because like the bear looks like he's too fat and his head's sinking in. They got a gorilla playing. Yeah, look at that. He's like, ugh. And then you had the gorilla. I don't know, what was the white thing? Was that another monkey?
That's
was it a
just
Yeti?
racist. It looks like a duck.
That looks like a duck. I think you need
The
to look
white
what a
thing?
duck would-
That's a
Yeah.
person. Come on, what's wrong with you?
What are these white people doing?
I know.
There's not a lot of melanin in this crowd here.
I'm trying to find where in the ad here was the
Oh,
I think yeah
look, he was
yeah
in
look,
the
it looks
back.
like it's got a bill there.
Oh,
So it's some kind of duck.
some weird Howard the Duck.
And they got their own rat on the right side of the band here. Look at that.
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Rat is like a popular thing among kids, right? Like Disney.
Oh yeah,
Mickey
we
Mouse.
with rats. Yeah, well, yeah.
It's still popular to this day in New York City. They put up like a
Pizza rat.
10-foot inflatable one when they going against companies that are going against the union rules. They have a truck out there with a giant inflatable rat and sign saying not to do business with this company. The pizza all looks the same, looks terrible. I'm wondering if they all had the same supply vendors for doing all of this stuff here.
Even the logo looks similar.
Yeah, they're very similar.
This is just, it's all kind
Gabby's
of
having flashbacks right now.
terrifying childhood here. Jared said, people have programmed rock a fire explosion to modern songs. My favorite was MGT. Wait, what? I don't remember what this is supposed to be. Oh, Nolan Bushnell from Atari started Chuck E. Cheese Pizza.
Yeah, he did.
So well, you know what? Chuck E. Cheese lasted longer than Atari did, so
It's still around.
yeah, good for him. We got this in here. Nick S, $5 super chat. I don't know what I'm apologizing for, but there's your apology.
I'm very sorry.
Very sorry for
Sorry,
having
Nick.
to watch all of this stuff here.
Sorry for the show.
Right. Now, we showed you all those things to bring you up to speed that this was something in the 80s that we did, not just in the United States, but I would say North America, at least. North and Central America. I don't know if they have this or an equivalent over in Europe, over in Asia.
Showbiz was like in like Hawaii, Mexico, oddly enough, like Guatemala. And then
Still
like
Central
US.
America, North America, that region.
Yeah, so it just stayed here.
It stayed in this in the northern western hemisphere.
Right.
Had these rat-infested animatronic kids places. Gabby, after we did the initial thing on this, Gabby says, I had my birthday party there as
Her
a kid.
recent birthday party.
Yeah, her recent birthday party there.
So it was my 30th birthday.
She went there all by herself. Nobody showed up because they said that nobody wanted to be caught dead at this place. She went there. She sent me videos.
That's wild.
Of her birthday party there. This is from 1993. And I'll say this. who videotaped this thing? Who's using the camera?
Probably my mom or my dad.
Okay.
Very bad at that.
Kudos to your parents for thinking to do this, because even though you had some sort of camcorder more readily available to you during this time, most people still weren't videotaping their families doing shit, unless it was like a high school graduation, which who wants to watch that, or some kind of shitty wedding video. They weren't using it for just capturing family moments.
Yeah, we really take for granted how readily available, like, our phones have all these things to capture these moments. Like, I'm videotaping my kids constantly. I have no video footage of me as a child. Like, there's no like, I don't exist up until a certain point because no one had camcorders, no one had video.
Right.
Like, you can see pictures, but that's it. So the fact that you have this is actually, like, impressive.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at this, and here's another thing. It's an aggravation and a frustration to other people now, currently. But it's a sense of, it's not even an homage to it. It's just a flashback to a different time that you remember, before internet, before digital technology. The hum of the videotape recording, the graininess. Sometimes the edits had the little squiggle.
I was going to say, did this video footage, before we watch it, have the timestamp and the date and stuff in the corner?
It does. Because people didn't know to hit that button. You have it on to start and then hit it quick so that it's off the video. They left it on the entire time. Also fantastic. There was a lot to this. So what I did was I chopped it down to moments, because otherwise this thing would have been really long, just so you can get the feel and see how adorable this young lady is. She goes and attempts to kiss some kind of mutated gorilla playing the keyboards on there.
I was scared.
Yeah.
Not a white hairy duck.
I will point out, I think I tried to keep that piece in there where, like, I don't know what,
visibly upset.
I don't know what was being said because the audio is not that good, but whoever was
Spanish.
Well, that too. But whoever was speaking to the microphone for the character from the band, again, it was hard to hear, again, and also in Spanish, so I wasn't really getting the translation. But it was something like they were inviting her to come over, and she didn't. She just stood there. Her mom kind of goes like that, and then there's Gaby kind of walking over to this thing here. Nightmare fuel for any child, and I was like, "This is better than I could have hoped." So let's take a look at this here. This is Gaby. Now what? Well, that's the commercial.
That's good quality.
How old are you for this birthday party?
It's 1993. I was turning 4.
4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's take a look. There you go. Date March 19th, 1993. In the corner for the entire video. This is just random shots of the automatronic performance.
Oh, what is that, like a mole rat?
I don't know. There's some kind of duck-billed platypus.
There's some child stuck on his hand.
Yeah. That cat is strangling a child in front of the... This is why you have to behave.
All right, what gets me is that, okay, so the audio is in Spanish, right? Like all the audio coming from the animatronics are in Spanish, right?
The songs here are just like songs in English, I think. But
okay, because I was thinking okay, if it's in Mexico and like they were doing any of the audio in Spanish, why leave all the signs in English?
No, everything's in English. Like the music is in English because it's programmed like originally.
They're like, we don't want to translate shit.
Yeah,
we're just going to ship it down there, and you like our pizza or you get out.
We've spent all the money to print these signs up. We're not printing up new signs. They'll just have to learn and deal with it.
You'll adapt to our forms.
I also am realizing this animatronic band is essentially just a glorified Teddy Ruxpin. They put a cassette tape in that has triptones so that the mouths move with the song. That's all this is. This cat-like creature that's wearing some kind of dapper vest on stage is holding what we thought was strangling a child, but it's holding another creature. The fake animal is also doing impressions with a dummy on its hand. Like, we're going very down the wormhole here. And it zooms in on this thing. I don't know what this is. It has a unibrow. I don't know
like
what
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
I think it's like a version of that.
Oh my god. with like a banana arm.
So the fake
body just dangling.
Yeah.
Scary.
Like, there's nothing. It's just. I'm telling you, it's a corpse, and they're just doing this with it.
Right.
It's like when a monster leans down and palms somebody like a human's head and pulls them up, and you just see them, flailing for their lives. But he's holding and shaking the head like that's the way to make it talk. So the fake thing that's fake talking is now fake talking another puppet.
I
All the parents are sitting there like it's too loud, ignoring the music. Kids are not even caring. They're eating pizza. It is in English. How many of these kids do you think know English at this point? Probably not many, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, I was in kindergarten, I guess, maybe like first year or something. I did have English like classes ever since then.
Right.
But it wasn't a common
But
thing,
you didn't
no.
have like English spoken regularly in your family, right?
No, it was just like music.
So all these kids are just watching horrific creatures sing songs they can't understand.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're just like, what
It's
are
like
we
singing 9 to
Even
5.
honestly, even the parents probably, like not most of the parents.
Parents
knew,
are paying
like,
for this, and
yeah,
they're like, I have
like,
no idea what's
I don't
going
know.
on.
Yeah, right.
There's Gaby.
Gaby.
They have the ceremonial bow in her hair.
Oh, that was an everyday thing, though.
I think. Hold on a second. If I heard the song right, they're doing Neutron Dance from Beverly Hills
It
Cop.
sounded like Neutron Dance. Yeah, do it again.
Yeah.
It's their version of Neutron Dance.
Yeah.
This is like the Kids Bop version. It's like cover band.
You think a whole room of Spanish people are going to understand the lyrics to Neutron Dance?
A song from 1984.
Yeah.
In 1993.
There's Gaby.
Also, look at this. Look at this evil-looking squirrel.
that's
chipmunk she's riding.
These animals.
Look at the dog.
These are horrifying.
These animals look like the woodland creatures from South Park. Like their eyes are going to turn red, and then they just slaughter everybody in the place. Who's this?
That duck looked like a zombie.
That was my best friend back then.
That's your best friend back then?
Yeah.
They're not on speaker.
She's getting into a World War II biplane.
She's good to the Sopwith camel.
Yeah, she's flying the Baron's plane, going after Snoopy. Yeah.
Oh, I remember these kinds of things. They just go up and down, but you were like so happy to be in them.
I want to point something out. Outside this ride, and then you're going to see future rides. The whole purpose of these things just seem to jostle children uncontrollably. Like there's no safety kind of perception in this thing here. It's like, how do we, it's not like vibrate to feel like turbulence as it's going up and down. It's just, how do we randomly shake children in a ride and make them pay a quarter?
I think it was encouraged for the babies to fall or the kids to fall off the rides. It was like, you're going to have more fun if you fall.
Well, the OSHA laws didn't exist in Mexico because it's our.
They still don't to this day.
Oh, at this point.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah,
she's hitting turbulence as a plane is trying to fake land.
God forbid she's leaning forward and her face goes right into that wing.
Yeah, she's not looking. She's looking at, somebody with the camera. She's going to smile. And then, bam! Her teeth hit the top of the plane wing there. Now her mouth's bleeding.
They were gonna fall anyway, so
yeah.
This is a Mexican Transformer, Optimum Prime. What is this?
This is when they couldn't even get the GoBots. They're like, well, what else can we get from the Oriental Trading Company and turn into a ride?
Sidekill. And then you're inside of it. That is fantastic.
I remember that moment too. Like, I remember being in that.
Being terrified, wanting to get out as the robot somehow is levitating off the ground.
Like at an angle, she's sliding to each side as it keeps going around corners.
She's in the center of the robot. Like, it's got like a some kind of window in its chest. She's under its head like the robot ingested her. And she's like, I want to get out of this.
Oh, they still have those games. I play that every time we go to a pizza place.
It's like a whack-a-mole game.
No, yeah, it's like the alligators.
Hey, that kid's cheating. She should be thrown out. This is another ride here. This snail ride she's going in. Watch the physics of this ride. Coming up again. There it is. All right. Now there's Gaby and two other kids in there. Watch this. They're getting whiplash. It's just a snail going back and forth. A snail shouldn't even move that fast.
The agitator on a washing machine right now.
Essentially, yes. That's exactly it. It's like, we have all these appliances. We can't just throw them out. I don't want to waste the money.
Throw the motors in a giant snail. Yeah,
can you craft some kind of garden animal and let's just put it on the rotating thing here? Look at this. These kids have whiplash. Gaby pulled her hands in and was sitting like very, very proper and still with her arms folded on her legs. Like, I'd like to get off this ride now. I think I'm done. And nope. I got a whole fistful of quarters here. You're going on this thing for another 2 hours.
I'm gonna address Nick here real quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
He goes, no way she's a 93 baby. First of all, she's already born here in 93. I made this.
No, it's like a Benjamin Buttons thing. She wasn't born at 93 years of age.
I said this exact same thing when we were talking about this originally when she said she did this, and to the point where I was like, I won't believe your age. She sent me her license, and sure enough, she's as old as she says, and I'm like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, I was
Gaby
born
has
in 89,
aged in.
so,
She is reverse aged. I look like I've been run over by a truck. It's fine. It's cool.
You're gonna go see Jordan when he plays one of those summer festivals with his band Bowling for Soup.
I'm gonna go see Metalachi. She can come hang out with me.
There you go. He'll get you backstage passes. You can sit on the lawn. Now here we are in the obligatory ball pit, which they don't have in places anymore.
Well,
maybe best because it's dirty. Kids pee in these things or worse.
Diapers.
But like McDonald's used to have ball pits. I think maybe Burger King did too. I don't remember.
They did. They had.
But you just don't see a ball pit anymore unless you're paying top dollar to go to like some kind of gymnasium place for kids to go and tumble. You don't see this stuff anymore.
A lot of the time they do the foam blocks now. So like they don't even still do the plastic balls and that are gross.
This ball pit here has a slide that you can slide into it. The whole area is netted off. It's just like roped. And it doesn't look like there's a way out for the children. They slide
just add
in.
More balls.
And this is where they live for now on. Yes. Those children look unhappy. Probably needs more balls. They pull a big lever. They're covered with more balls. Yes.
I really like that game. That was a lot of fun.
What is that?
You had to aim it to their mouth.
So was it like one of those water guns?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Super fun.
Oh, okay.
So this one was just a carnival. Like they were just doing carnival games at this point.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Bartholomew is saying there was no ball pit or playground in the Chuck E. Cheese I went to recently. There was a small trampoline area that cost $12 to get into. Yeah, that's...
What he's not telling you is that he went by himself. He likes to just go hang out.
Yeah, Jordan knows from experience. He game recognized game
to bring him in.
Right.
And he paid on that.
Okay, here's Gaby on stage with the animatronic
the creepy bear sloth.
Yeah.
Also, like the position.
Look at his arm. He's like, "Come in here."
It looks like he's about to just swing that arm, and his razor claws are just gonna like slice her in half like Wolverine.
Yes.
Oh, this
kid is terrifying.
Super creepy.
Now, this is automated, and this isn't the automation portion of the performance. They just have somebody back there with like an old Atari controller so the thing moves around and speaking into a microphone so that it can,
like an FM microphone.
Yeah, so it's like it's actually interactive.
Super high pitched voice, so I think it was a woman speaking actually.
Or it was the tune that killed the judge in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Is that your mom there on the side?
Yes, that's my mom. Yeah.
Okay. Your mom pushes her to go kiss the thing later on. So Gaby, she's not like completely terrified. She's more like, why am I up here at this stage? She's just looking around. She's like, what is this thing talking to me?
It's asking about school.
I don't want to be here.
If I like school, things
Now look,
like that.
you can see Gaby is kind of trying to back up, like she's facing her fear, but walking backwards.
She'd rather take a step off the stage than be near that thing.
Who sneaks up? Her mom, to prevent her from either falling off the stage or like, no, we paid for this. You're gonna go kiss the fucking monkey. All right. See, thing's talking.
I don't want to.
Gaby doesn't know what to make of this.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to communicate with this beast, literally.
Yeah. She's standing there dressed in this, very cute dress. And the way her mom is standing next to her, it looks like she's making her confirmation. The way, not confirmation, communion. Oh, that was the other thing too. Whoever's running the camera realized the date wasn't there, so they had to hit the button to put it back on the screen again. See, it's like, oh shit, I turned the date off. The date's got to be on there. What is the thing? Can you hear what the machine's saying?
Yeah, it's still about school, like just asking when I'm starting school and if I like to go to school and things like that.
Oh,
What's
small talk. Yeah, very
Yeah.
expensive small talk. Got it.
What's your address?
If I like doing homework and things like that.
Nerd. Yeah, see? Look. This is
Please
what... Move it back a little bit. Gaby doesn't know what to make of this. Her
Not at
mom... Right there. Is shoving her by her hip. She's like, go interact with the thing. Gaby
You
doesn't
will enjoy this.
She doesn't want to be part of this anymore. She wants to get off, eat pizza, and go play video games or something. And the mom's like pushing her over. Yeah, and you see Gaby's like, stop hitting me. She's smacking her hands away. She's leaning over to kiss the thing, and the thing doesn't react. Gaby doesn't know what to do. So she's just like, all right, I'll kiss his hand. And then,
Help me! Help me!
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
she kisses the hand, turns around, and almost like stage dives at a concert to get away from this fucking thing.
Like, okay, we're gonna air kiss you. Okay, now can I be done now?
She leans down to kiss the thing. The thing unhinges its jaw real wide.
Okay.
Just bites her head.
Like, were they really encouraging you to kiss this dirty animatronic bear?
Yes,
Sloth?
that was the thing. Like because
so
it
gross.
asks like, do you want me to sing happy birthday to you? And my mom was like, yeah, go kiss the thing, and then he's gonna sing happy birthday to you. So it was
But
my
you-
reward from kissing it, like being sung
So
happy
there's-
birthday.
Someone has
by
a creepy
the
uncle
band.
that has that same rule.
Yeah, probably.
I ain't singing till you're kissing.
Here's what I'm thinking. She leans over to kiss this. I guess that's its hand because it won't let go of that makeshift guitar for any reason. She leans over to kiss it. It unhinges its jaw, leans over, just bites her head, pulls her upside down, and just like, when like sharks and stuff or whales, whatever, they throw their food up in the air so it comes down. You
Just
just
playing with
see
the food.
little feet kicking as it's going down the mouth of the bear.
Oh, that is
See, look, running away.
Help me.
Hopped off. She's like, get me out of here. Adorable. Terrifying
Oh my
and adorable.
God. I gotta say though, it's so cool to see that. Like, I mean, it's not cool to see your mom torturing you, but like, it's so cool to like. I've been to that place, like, and it's just weird. Like now I'm remembering like how I felt with that stuff too, and it's just like, why were we so into it? Like
And the sound, the noises, and even the smell, like I do remember just like the feel of it just being there. So
because it doesn't feel the same. Like I've taken I think I took my son to a Chuck E. Cheese, I think like 3 or 4 years ago, 3 years ago for his birthday, and it just didn't have the same vibe. It didn't feel the same. But that felt like what I used to go to. Like I used to do the Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz, and then when I was growing up in California, there was a place, and it still exists. I looked it up not so long ago. Rocky and Bullwinkle. There was a place called Bullwinkle's. So it was like that same kind of place, mini golf and all that stuff, the bumper boats that always smelled like gasoline. And then you had, all the video games, and it's just the sounds that's exactly the sound. And it's just like, that's super cool that you even have that. Because again, I think my parents had a video camera, they weren't pointing at me. Like they didn't need me as a kid.
Let's take a look at that commercial real quick. It's called Bullwinkle's Family Food and Fun.
I loved Bullwinkle's.
I've never I didn't know there. All right, it was amazing that there was one thing.
You're I've never been to any of these.
And then mind blowing that there was
Nobody took me anywhere.
Yeah, there was a second one. Now you're finding out there's been more that I was never aware of until 2025. Now that there's a third competitor in this horrific industry,
right?
Of just terrible children's birthday party places. Let's take a look at this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime at Bullwinkle's Family Food and Fun Restaurant. The most phantasmagorical good times this side of Musylvania. Come see the beautiful fantasy fountain water show. See the daily stage performances starring Bullwinkle,
Animatronics are
Rocky
better.
and his friends.
Yeah.
It's Bullwinkle. You'll come for the food.
Hold on, that's not Bullwinkle.
Yeah, and they had a water show. Oh God,
Hold on, this is terrible editing because he's like, it's Bullwinkle, and you show a character that's not Bullwinkle.
Rocky and his friends.
It's Bullwinkle.
That's a turtle or a frog or something.
You'll come for the food, but stay for the fun.
Yeah, they had a
Bullwinkle's
water
Family
show.
Food and Fun Restaurant. See you there.
I think this is the Canadian version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to remember because like the guy that was the guy with the dastardly mustache, he was in the lobby. So when you walked in, he was like in a little cage, and you can go in there with him and get pictures of you in the bars and stuff like that while your parents were paying to get in and get your pizza set up. And yeah, they had a little water show, and then they had mini golf. So like after you were done and you do all the video games, you go out and you had mini golf. And again, they had those bumper boats. So it was just those round inner tubes with motors on it and it just smelled like gasoline. Like it was just nothing but gasoline in the water.
And
then you throw your kids on there and you're just spinning around in circles.
There's a place called Rocky and Bullwinkle's Restaurant. These are their commercials for it. Let's take a look at. Let me see what these are before we're out of here. I can't.
Oh my God, that audio is terrible.
All right, that's
Bullwinkle's voice.
Yeah,
well, it's
but
supposed to
that
be.
pizza's a quiche.
What is that? I was gonna say that's a piece of lasagna.
Yeah, that there shouldn't be two layers of a pizza within the pizza itself.
In the world, Horse Klondike fried chicken, good and crispy. And if you like fun and entertainment, we got a really good show for you too.
Yeah, there's a whole water fountain.
Yeah, I love the water fountain. And if you were lucky, it was working. Oh, that's the one I used to go to in Upland. That's the one I used to go to all the time.
Where's Upland?
It's in California.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to describe because I was born in West Covina, which is the town next to Upland. And Upland, it was like the Inland Valley. Ontario International Airport is the next town over. Like it was all right in there.
Right.
That's the one I went. That's funny. That's the one I went to.
Jared saying Dave and Buster's took its place without the animatronics. Yeah, Dave and Buster's just said, hey, let's just if we're gonna charge this much, let's just have better food, more expensive drinks, and more expensive video games. Let's cut all the other bullshit out. And that's what. Do they have Dave and Buster's down by you, Gabby?
No, I don't even know what that is.
It's
essentially if you made Chuck E. Cheese for 18 and older, that's what this place is.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I want to drink and play video games.
I want to get an order of cheesesteak egg rolls and some expensive drink that has like some kind of toy in it that I want to spend $40 before even playing video games. That's the place.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime at Bullwinkle's Family Food and Fun Restaurant. The most phantasmagorical.
Oh, we saw this one, right?
This time
Yeah.
in Musylvania.
Yeah, all right,
Come
we
see
saw
the
this
beautiful
one.
fantasy
All right, hold on. Did we see? All right, let's see. All right, take this one out real quick. Did we see this one? Oh wait, hold on. That's a bigger one. God, keep going.
Okay.
It's Dale and Linda Harney and Bullwinkle for Bullwinkle's Family Food and Fun Restaurant.
Where the food is great and the fun is fabulous. Bullwinkle's has animated stage
looks
shows,
mad all the
fantasy
time.
fountain water shows,
Looks
and
like
over
Tammy
70
Faye
games
Baker.
and rides
Yeah,
for
she
kids
does.
of all ages.
Oh, what's that, Bullwinkle? Oh,
I
if
can't
you
speak
help
through
Mom and
this.
Dad around the house, Bullwinkle's will give you 10 free games or rides.
Bullwinkle's
Mom and Dad
making
can
the
write down
international
your
sign for
completed
choking.
chore.
And if you bring it into Bullwinkle's and make a food purchase, you'll get 10 free game play tokens.
Okay. You get
And that
10
place still Bullwinkle still exists. Like if you look it up, that place is still there in Upland because every time I drive out to California, if I go that way around Upland where I used to live, I always stop off and check it out. But
Right.
It still exists.
So
It's still there.
These are what 1980s prices. You get 10 free tokens if you show up for kids, but a food purchase is necessary. How much? The 10 free tokens is probably what $1.50, $2 at most.
I mean, you got to think they're a quarter per. You know,
in the
simulating
80s?
the quarter. Well, no. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. That's still ridiculous.
On the house, Bullwinkle's
Let's see.
Mom or Dad can write
Purchase your tokens.
Let's see what else. This is the last one here.
You love kids, and kids love you too, Bullwinkle. Why,
It's
look
like a
at all the
chocolate
wonderful
mousse.
I Love Bullwinkle cards you've been getting.
And kids, if you bring an I Love Bullwinkle card, now remember that's all it has to say is just I love Bullwinkle. If you'll bring that to Bullwinkle.
Now, I want to laugh at this gimmick, but Gabby just told us about everyone's kissing each other at Carl's Jr. So,
Yeah, right.
they're still doing stuff like this.
I do want to point out that this guy has two little blackboards, hand-sized blackboards. One says I with a heart, and the other one says Bullwinkle. Neither can you read. Neither is he showing directly to the camera. He's facing up, so you're just seeing the sides of the blackboard.
Terrible at this.
Yeah.
But you'll get 10 free games and rides.
It was a magic trick the whole time.
10 free games or rides if you buy some food. And there's also a limit of 10 tokens per child per visit.
If you buy some food, you can get a free.
Now, Gabby, do you remember this one?
I hear it's your birthday. How old are you?
Well,
That's great. Would you like us to sing you a special song?
Hell no.
You got it. Ready, Senor Beaverati?
I'm all ready. And the one, and the two.
You're the
birthday, you're the birthday,
you're the birthday.
Well, you're a girl. It's exactly
That was pretty much my experience.
My favorite, yeah. It just lights on fire. Your mom's still pushing you toward it.
You just
That's the part he didn't show. Like
You
he
need to
has
get
the
a
whole
picture.
video.
There's
Right,
part of
you
the
edited
video
that
where it
part
just
out.
cuts to the parking lot showing the double doors to the front and everyone's running out screaming, holding kids, dragging them, and this explosions are happening through the roof of the building.
You can still hear the animatronics on fire singing Feliz Cumpleaños.
Nope, it's all in
my
English
God.
down there. They're singing happy birthday and no one understands it.
We're all confused.
Gabby, thank you for wasting your time with us tonight.
Oh, thank you. I always do actually. It's just not on camera. But
I
I'm
know.
always
So I made this.
listening and it's sad, so.
We're like, how do we make this experience even worse for her? And that was by having her on the show.
Well, you know what? Thanks for donating at least $15 to do this, Gabby. If anyone else wants to start doing it.
Yes, come on the show, do a super chat, and get 10 free Bullwinkle tokens for doing all of that.
Eric bucks.
Gabby, you don't have anything you want to promote or plug, right? You don't want people finding you.
I mean, you can just like find me if they ask you. I don't.
Oh my God!
know why
Don't do
anyone
that.
would want to, but
Don't tell these
sure.
monsters to do that.
That's what the
Come
cartels
find me.
do. Let's not.
Right.
She's like, I
endorse that.
dare you.
Yeah, if you want to, if you're coming over to Mexico and you need help getting out of
Good luck.
some problem, maybe I can help.
Now, you were in Chicago recently. Are you coming back to the States anytime soon to hang out, or?
Yes, I'm actually going to Miami as well in 2 weeks.
nice.
Yeah, on
I mean,
the 20th. I'm going on a cruise. So
Gabby's always
Oh,
traveling. Like, I
which
check her
cruise
Instagram
line?
out. She's doing way more fun stuff. than I ever
Norwegian.
did.
Oh,
And
that's
sail.
nice.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, you're talking
Norwegian,
to old cruise guy here.
Norwegian's fun. Really no kids on that, so that's fantastic. Norwegian?
Are they like a booze cruise? Because I know.
No. That's Carnival.
All
That's that's the bullshit. Where people who's like, I'm going on a cruise, but they don't really want to spend any real money. They go on
They're
Carnival.
not. They're just gonna drink on a boat.
Norwegian ships have ice bars. Do you know what an ice bar is?
No.
It's a bar that you go in there. All the aesthetics look like.
I mean,
it's-
it really is self-explanatory.
It looks like you're just in the Arctic, and it's freezing.
Oh, I don't
I've
think
had
this
that.
one has
I've seen that in Vegas. Like they
Yeah.
had, I think at a Resort World, they have an ice bar.
Yeah, it's like 40
Yeah, it's pretty
degrees in the
cool.
bar. It's fantastic.
Because this would be my third cruise. Like I've been on 2 of the IJ cruises, and those were Norwegian as well. So that's why I'm going back on that. But this is just like no.
She had a coupon.
No,
She
there's
could
no
buy
gimmick.
2 cruises,
Yeah.
get one free.
There's no gimmick
Yeah,
for
it's-
this. Yeah, she's got Norwegian points now. I forgot what
Yeah,
their
it's like
things are called.
Well, yeah, she got her 10 free Bullwinkle tokens, and
Yeah.
she's gonna go to Showbiz.
I'm a
Cruise.
bronze level cruiser or whatever they call it.
Fantastic. Well, have a good time.
I still haven't done that.
Don't tell anybody the ship. Don't tell anybody the dates. We don't want anybody
Give no
finding you.
details about your life
If you want to
whatsoever.
find me, yes.
name
no,
is
but
even
hopefully
Gabby.
no planes will be falling off or anything.
Oh
so.
my God! Don't put that out in the world. I don't want to be featuring Gabby on our This Week in Disasters.
Yeah, Lubi was also going to Miami like in 3 weeks when she said that. I was like, I'm going in too. So
could you imagine their planes hit? She's going in, she's going out.
Lubi kidnaps Gaby, takes her back to Montenegro.
Or it would be funny if we saw each other there, like after this.
They're on the same cruise. Lubi's a problem. If you go out to that, she likes to party. So
we're going to party. I'm going with my best friend. You met her as well.
Fair enough. Gaby, thank you very much. Have a good time. Well, that's in a couple of weeks. I'll talk to you, I'm sure, before all of that. Thank you for coming on. We do appreciate it.
It was a lot of fun. Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye, Gaby.
All right. We do need to get out of here. Obviously, no segment 2 this time around.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Nothing's happening.
Stuff and things. Super Bowl's this weekend.
I was going to say, we'll have way more.
And then Captain America next week.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to see that.
Kind of excited. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of excited for it.
I'm going. It's the only time I go to the movie theaters is a Marvel movie now. Otherwise, I don't.
I feel like we haven't had a Marvel property in a while.
Deadpool.
What was the last Marvel? Was it?
Deadpool.
That was July of last year.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was it.
We need more Marvel.
All right. We do need to do the plugs. So, Jordan, as always, our nation's eyes turn to you.
If you want to come find me on social media, it should pop up right there on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, whatever, at Jinx Ronan, Twitch at Jinx Ronan79. If you've got a subscription to Amazon, please use that free subscription for our Twitch channel. Go in. You can just pop in, get a free subscription through your stuff. You're already paying for Amazon. You might as well help us out, throw a couple bits that way, and support the show.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for that. And for me and the show, it's Erik Nagel across the board on all the social medias. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, for the meantime, as long as we're still there, thank you for doing that. If you want to check us out at any other time at your convenience, Spotify, Apple, places of that nature, that's where you go to get all of that. Do us a kindness, go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. And if you want to join us live each and every week as we do this program, you can hop into the live rooms on Twitch and on YouTube, all under It's Erik Nagel. And if you didn't get a chance to see any of this live and you want to see the video and all the fun stuff that you missed, like the Super Bowl commercials, it's going to be a rough listen to for the radio audience this week. But if you want the visuals, the produced show will be up there on the YouTube channel. So subscribe, hit the notifications, let you know everything that's happening. And so this way you don't miss out. Until the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
We'll be seeing you.
It's Erik Nagel.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Erik Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itseriknagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.